Chad, baby. Wednesday. I hope you guys are ready.
Happy hump day.
Let's go, baby. We're going to get going shortly. 2 more minutes. Just waiting for the rest of the chat. Jeremy, I'm going to show you now what you need to do. We're going to jump straight into that. Just quickly going to help Jeremy, and then we're going to get going.
I hope you guys are ready to make some trades. It is hump day, middle of the week. It's a good day to be on the charts.
Come on, Chad.
Yes, sir. I feel good about today.
Alrighty, Chad. How was yesterday? I unfortunately had to call it early one. But yeah, I think today is going to be a little bit of a longer one. We've got quite a bit of information to get through. And, so be sure you are tuned in. You've got your notebooks. You've got your coffee, and we're going to get going. Chad, before we get going, Jeremy, for the guys as well that's struggling with their passwords, remember, if you go CJ, let me just know, is it, Neil Estrazen, please let me know, are you in the chat as well? Guys, so please, when you go onto your MetaTrader account, what I need you to do is to go to File, open an account, and search for Vault Markets. And the one that you should be using is not that first fintech, that Vault Markets 2, but this one right here, Vault Markets Pty Limited. Jeremy, and then what you need to do is you need to enter your password, and it's going to migrate your password to the new server. Let me actually just send you a little video before we get going, Chad. I just want to make sure. Neil Estrazen, please let me know, are you in the chat? Let me just quickly forward this. Let me just forward this video quickly to my brother Jeremy. Just forward this to Jeremy real quick. Jeremy, please, okay, I can see. Let me know if you don't come right. I'm going to get somebody to contact you. So please just give me a heads up if you don't come right. Chad, good morning. Ridal Fix, wishing everyone a profitable day. Amen, amen. We can say amen to that. Lifestyle Addicts, good morning. I will always remember Lifestyle Addicts as the guy that came in a hater and then got converted to a believer. Danielle checks, good morning. Jeremy, as always, good to have you here, my brother. Etienne, Shawnee Travels, Steve, and who else? Neo Robertson, Neil Estrays. And Neil, let me know, did you see that? Did you see what I said now? I'll show it again. Shadrick, Etienne, one of my friends sent it to me. It's a meme about you and Radel that the Rocket Boys. I saw it, Etienne. I saw it. Saw it. Try now. Okay, sweet. Let me know, Neil. Etienne, Danielle. All right, Chad, we're gonna get going. We're gonna do our analysis real quick, and then gonna see if there's any opportunity, and then after that we're gonna jump into day 3. Today we're going to cover a little bit about setting up your charts. We're actually going to go through the strategy in terms of what is the best setups to look for. I'm also going to see if we've got some time to go through trade management, because I believe trade management is actually the holy grail of trading. If you know how to manage your trades and you can minimize your losses instead of taking full stops, then you've got the holy grail to trading. So, Edgar, how are you doing, my brother?
It's a good day. It's a good day. I'm looking forward to the last few days of trading for the year. After this week is over, I am done for 2023. So, looking forward to ending off with a bang.
When are you gonna start again next year?
Probably after that first week. I feel like that first week's probably going to be a little bit choppy. So probably like from the 8th.
Usually only from the 15th. Later, I would say that last week of Jan does it really start to pick up, but we're going to be from the 8th as well. All right, Chad, we had quite a bit of data coming out of Britain this morning, 7 o'clock, PPIs. We had CPI as well, so CPI coming out significantly lower than expected. So obviously rate hikes helping in Britain. So very, very soft inflation figures. That's going to be good. That's going to be bad for the currency. It's good for the Bank of England, because they can start softening their monetary policy going into the new year. So that's quite a big one. That's showing that there is some softening with inflation, as well as PPI coming in softer than expected. So that is good to see. PPI out of Germany as well coming in lower than expected. So again, Eurozone, Britain, inflation is starting to come down, which is a good thing. That was the theme of 2022, 2021. The fight against inflation after all the C19 stimulus. Don't want to say that word because you'll get shadow banned quicker than you can say that word. But anyways, so we are relatively clear for the rest of the day. We've got some existing home sales data out of the US later this afternoon. But in terms of this morning, we had all the data that we needed to get into the day. Also, People's Bank of China keeping rates unchanged at 3.45%. Not really going to affect us. Chad, with that being said, I just want to quickly browse over to the Asia session, see what happened overnight with the Nikkei. Nikkei closing up almost 1.4%, so relatively bullish move, actually gapping up, and that is due to the softer than expected outlook from Bank of Japan. So I told you yesterday it was very dovish, the comments where they said they will be very, very accommodative to the Japanese market, the consumer market, the business market. So they are not ready to get out of negative rates as of yet. So that's going to be negative for the JPY. Hang Seng only closing up 0.3% on the day, so relatively flat. Unchanged rates, not really bolstering the Hang Seng. Let me just see what was the high of the day from the open. Alright, so it did spike up almost 1% and then came down, so very interesting. So relatively bullish for equities. I think you're going to see a lot of that bullish order flow coming through from Asia, not just Asia, into our local market as well. JSE top 40 index, the all share, all of that I think is going to be bolstered by that as well, Chad. But without further ado, let's get into it. Chad, what I also want to mention is if you have not watched Monday's stream, please go back to it in terms of determining your daily and weekly bias. We're going to follow on that today, actually getting your trades, looking at what is the best setup and how to actually set up your charts. I'm going to go through each and every indicator I use as well, explaining what it does, what it represents, because why would you have things on your chart that you don't even know what they represent? So we're going to go through that. Remember yesterday I said I'm neutral due to the fact that at any stage we can either close back inside of this upper range or we can come down and break structure lower. However, we did not break the structure lower, but what we did do is we created a confirmed resistance. So the expectation now would be that we will create a new low on the day. So we will be targeting, when was this? Last week, Thursday's low. I am bearish on the day. I'm bearish on the week. I told you guys that I'm bearish for the dollar due to the Fed being very dovish as well last week, a very dovish pause, and I am bearish on the day. Only way that I can really get bullish is if we break Monday's highs. So any breaks above here, then I will get bullish on the day. But for the most part, bearish for me. 5-minute time frame. Let's see where we are. Let's just quickly establish those Asia ranges for us. All right. What line is this? Let me just get this off the chart. Okay. What is the 80 doing? 80 is bearish. You can see we already spiked Asia highs, already now trading below the daily pivot. Beautiful to see. What I want to see now for London Open is maybe something like this, and then we can look short on the dollar, long on the majors. So this is something that I'm expecting. Not really bullish. Some will think this is bullish. I am bearish on it. US30, let's quickly jump into a daily time frame. All right, yesterday, go back to yesterday's analysis as well. I think very top class analysis. If you got it wrong yesterday, I don't know what to tell you. I think you need to get saved. We will get some of the churches to contact you so that you can get reborn, because the analysis yesterday was on point. I gave you the bias, I gave you the levels. If you didn't capitalize on that, I don't know what more you need. So go and watch the analysis yesterday morning. Sorry, Chad, I'm just gonna take a sip of this coffee while it's hot. Remember yesterday I told you that at any stage we can start breaking these resistance levels. I said wait for the pullbacks, wait to buy. And the reason I said that is if you look back on the previous run, every bearish daily candle after that was a bullish daily candle. And I mentioned at any stage can we just start flipping bullish again. That's why I was still bullish. This was the only time we had a 3-day pullback, but all 3 of those daily candles was within this one daily candle right there. So it can show you that it is a lot less aggressive than the up move. Same here, a lot I think we're trying to sell into that. Why would you sell into it? We are now in a price discovery phase. The market is going to try and establish where there's potential resistance. So looking left, there's nothing. We are literally in uncharted territory. Here's another concept for you: price discovery. When you start making all-time highs, the market is going to push price. The bulls are going to push price up until the bears start stepping in, or up until guys get uncomfortable holding positions and they start selling their positions. Then we start to establish some type of resistance level. So think about that. We're going to go to Nasdaq now as well. When price is discovering new levels, do not try and short it. I told you guys for the last 2 weeks on German 30 as well. when we started breaking these all-time highs, I said be very careful because price is going to try and establish a new resistance. Anyways, I am bullish on the day, same as yesterday. There's nothing to look left on. The only thing we can look at was this little potential resistance area that guys were trying to sell. So look at that 37,300 5-minute time frame. Let's quickly establish the Asia range right here. All right, so that's our Asia range. You can see 80 accumulation distribution, firmly bullish. Why would you try and sell into that? Buy the pullbacks. Okay, already trading Asia highs. Ideally what I would like to see, I don't want to see it pulling back this deep. What did it do yesterday? Yesterday beautifully there at the pivot moving average. Chad, I'm gonna say nothing deeper than this 37,500. If it pulls back, I would say right here where that moving average is, that 200, wherever price is gonna converge with that, check that out. 37,520. Otherwise, monitor Asia lows. That could also be a good buy level for you a little bit later. So bullish on the day. I wouldn't necessarily buy here. This thing can run, but not for me. I'll wait for the pullbacks. Nasdaq yesterday as well, mentioned to you guys, very clear that it is bullish. Look left with me, go back as well when I mentioned all-time highs. What did I tell you guys? You're gonna get that capitulation move where once it starts breaking through there, some of the latecomers are going to jump in, and it's still bullish. So now again we have no confirmed resistance. If I look left, there's nothing. So why would I sell? I would need for price to show me that it wants to reverse, and it's not showing me that. So yesterday, here's the level I gave you. Go on the analysis. This was the level right here. Consolidated there, 20 past 1. That's when the move started. Gave you another opportunity at market open, dip back to that level. So again, told you guys this level right here. Hope you guys capitalized. I know some of you entered. And Asia highs. Let's quickly see this range. All right, beautiful tight little range. Again, I would not necessarily want to see it come all the way back down to the daily pivot, but if it does, that's quite a deep pullback. Otherwise, anything here close to that 200 as well. So 16,840. See if you can get pullbacks to there. Deeper pullbacks could happen. Daily pivot, but still bullish. Wouldn't necessarily try and sell into this. Look at this 80. Bullish. At no stage did this 80 tell you to try and sell it. Sales are going to be very short-lived if you do sell it. I told you yesterday as well, do not get married to any short positions and thinking you're going to swing it for weeks, days, months. No, you will get clapped. German 30, okay, I'm not going to go through that. UJ, let's quickly look at UJ. Yesterday, I told you I am bullish. Why was I bullish? I told you that we've had a confirmed support. Why is it a confirmed support? 2 consecutive bullish daily candle closures. So it showed me that the bulls were in the house for 2 days, and that for me is a valid support. Alright, also mentioned BOJ. I'm going to be bullish again today. However, we've got this level to get through. So bulls really need to start moving above 144.20, and then we can have that wick fill. But also mentioning yesterday, we are still in bearish market structure, clearly creating new lows, lower highs, and that is the order flow we have currently. But on the day, we also have the daily 200 EMA right here. You can see here previously it was support, broke through, so now is the first time testing it again. So key level for the bulls to step in or the bears to take control. So bullish on the day, going for that potential wick fill. Here's that 144 level. Asia highs up here, Asia lows down here. Quite a wide Asia range. Weekly pivot down here. 80 is firmly bullish. Let's see if we can potentially get some buys. Ideal scenario is London open, we come down, we test that weekly pivot, we get back inside of the Asia range and this half round numbers. So looking for bars, beautiful setup. I think we've got here. If we don't get it from the Asia lows, we're going to get it somewhere here. So do not stress, Chad. It is looking actually relatively good this morning. I'm actually going to give Edgar now the opportunity to go through his pairs. Edgar,
I am ready for
are you ready, my brother? Let's switch over to Edgar. Edgar, you are live, my brother. Edgar, can I just ask you a favor? When you do your lower time frame analysis, just to zoom in.
A little bit more?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I got you, folk. I got you. All right. So, going on to the 4-hour timeline, just looking at overall structure, we had a massive amount of volume yesterday from this leg coming up. Terrible day, not to decide to not train in New York. So, kicking myself a little bit for that one, but it is what it is. So, what we can see from overall 4-hour structure is we had this nice little leg up here back on the 14th of November. This created a nice bullish structure coming up, reached its peak. We had a nice little pullback back into areas of demand, which created the next little leg. Now, what you can notice is this leg failed to create a new higher high. It did not break this point, leaving this a 4-hour strong high. So we're expecting this to probably maintain its strength. So we're expecting price to eventually target these 4-hour week lows at the bottom. After a break of structure, what are we expecting? We're expecting a nice little pull back. So after these little internal breaks of structures caused by this candle over here, we're expecting a pullback. The pullback came a lot later than expected, but we eventually got one here. So if we zoom in into the 15-minute timeline, so what we can see now in the last couple days, what's happened is we had a change of character starting here. That happened around Monday, the 18th. Coming up, nice bullish pressure all the way, entering previous areas of supply and reacting from there. So now we've gotten this nice little break of structure to the downside. So after break of structure, what we're expecting a nice little pullback. So for today, I'm expecting a pullback up to these previous areas of supply. If we fail to do that and we get a lot of bearish pressure, then we're expecting it to ride into areas of demand a little bit lower down. So if I get my little fib tool here, trace the top of this move to the bottom of the move that created it, I'm expecting this to at least come down into discount, so lower than 50% of the move. And if that does happen, we're expecting these areas of demand here, and this extreme one here to be the areas of interest we'll be looking at to take this long. So all depends what happens first. Either we complete this pullback, come back in the areas of demand, or shy of doing that, if we continue with bearish pressure, looking at getting involved in these areas of demand over here. So all depends what price prints out for us today. We're just going to wait and see. Because of where these moves are, particularly these first two, I'm going to wait for confirmation entries. So I'm going to wait for I'm going to go down to the 1 minute, wait for a 1 minute change of character, showing me that yes, from supply into demand has now switched over control. And that will give me the confirmation that yes, I have the right idea at this level to try and take it long. This one, I might take a risk entry. I'll see how price plays out when the market opens. So that's my plan for Euro USD. Normally my Euro USD and GBP USD plans correlate with each other, but we just had CPI coming from Britain, which caused this massive bearish pressure coming down here. So following Chris's bias on DXY, that you think DXY is going to be bearish for the day, meaning I'm expecting GBP and Euro USD to be bullish at least for some time today. So I'm hoping for GBP USD to come into this area of demand to ride up with that bearish pressure on the DAX. Fail to do so, I'm going to probably sit GBP USD out. All the areas of interest I would have are a lot higher up. All the areas of supply I have are far away from price right now, meaning it's probably going to take some time before we get into these areas of supply up here. So I would only be looking at areas of demand down here, seeing if we can ride price back up. It's tested yesterday's Asian low already and reacted off it. So we're just going to wait and see what GBP has in store for us today. And that's what I'm looking at for today.
Shot, Edgar. I see somebody in the chat asking me why would I look long on UJ when I'm bearish on DXY. So Chad, maybe another quick lesson. We've got 7 minutes till the open. The DXY basket is most heavily weighted with the euro. Almost 60% of the DXY represents the euro against the dollar. Japanese yen only 13.6%. Then second is pound, sterling pound, and then Canadian dollar, Swedish krona, and Swiss franc. So if I'm bearish on DXY, it has very little effect on my bias on UJ. Secondly, if you were on the stream yesterday, I mentioned that the BOJ was very dovish. So that takes the upper hand on the cross between between the US dollar and JPY. So there's certain times where even if I am bearish on dollar, it is not that the dollar is weak against all other currencies, but it's more to do with JPY weakness. So what I'm saying is that I am buying into JPY weakness, not necessarily USD strength. So I hope that makes sense to you, Tao. But anyways, let's quickly go back to pound yen. All right, so Chad, we are technically bearish on the week. However, yesterday changed everything around with the BOJ. And what do we have here today? We are in a very weird spot with GJ. So if you look left with me, you've got this previous area of support right there. You've got this previous area of resistance right there. So we closed bullish. However, we did not clear that area, that flat body area. I don't care about the wicks. I'm looking at where price actually closed. So that flat body area was not cleared. So I am technically neutral on the day. Also with the fact that CPI came out much lower, the market is going to start to expect a lot more dovish comments coming out of the Bank of England. So potential rate cuts very early in the year next year. So that is one thing to look out for. So daily neutral, 5 minute time frame. What do we have on the 5? We've got quite a significant move to the downside. 80 is still bullish though. That is the weird thing. So this could just be a deeper pullback. And what I'm going to tell you guys is that if we can get some type of break of structure, something like this at the open in 3 minutes, something like this maybe even, I will look to buy this back to Asia lows. Asia lows still untested, daily pivot untested. Let's see if we can get that 181.36. Let me just set some alerts there. So a little bit of a pullback play. Let's see if we can get it. Key level right there. All right, let's quickly run through the rest. GJ, daily time frame. What do we have? I am bullish. Easy as they come. Go to the Discord. Go and check the setups. This is a reversal buy pattern. I'll get it on the Discord now as well. But there you can see, failed to create a new low. Broke structure to the upside, so I am bullish on this for the day. 100% bullish. 2 minutes, Chad, and then the fireworks start for the day. I hope you guys are ready. All right, beautiful. This is a stunning setup that I'm looking at here. Price is trading at the Asia lows. The daily pivot is at the Asia lows. This is what I want to see. Half round number right there. So area to monitor going into the session right here. We're going to see what price is doing there, and we're going to get long gold. 1 minute 40 till the open. Let's quickly look at gold. Gold also easily bullish on the day. Let's do this quickly. Bullish. There was that key level I gave you yesterday. Again, reversal buy pattern. There you broke structure. We've got that little bit of a wick fill. We've got the key level 2050. After that, 2067. And let's see the lower time frames. We're almost done with the analysis. Not the greatest that it's already trading above Asia highs. Daily pivot all the way down here. So let's see if we maybe get pullbacks back to this level. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not going to try and buy it here. We'll see how price develops. GU, real quick, 48 seconds. Daily time frame. What do we have? Daily also, yeah. I'm still technically bullish on it, Chad. I'm going to tell you now why. 33 seconds, bullish. Remember yesterday I told you guys that we can clearly see we're still creating bullish market structure. We created a bullish engulfing yesterday. However, not clearing that area. So while we respect yesterday's low, I'm going to remain bullish on this. We're trading at the weekly pivot. 5-minute time frame. What is it doing? 80 is struggling a bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ding, 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 ding. Round 1. Fight. All right, Chad. 80 is relatively bearish. However, the trend is still bullish. Weekly pivot. Daily pivot, Asia lows untested. Alright, I'm going to say let's monitor this level, and this level. Let's see if the 80 can start diverging. Last one, then we're done. Euro USD daily time frame is bullish. Why am I bullish? I'll tell you now why. Alright, I am bullish due to the fact that we created 2 consecutive bullish daily candle closures. That is a confirmed support area. What is the expectation? The expectation is that from here we're going to create a new high, and all of this you can technically see as liquidity. What is the retail market going to do? They see this as a potential sell area. And what is the market going to do? They are going to punish those sellers. So I'm bullish on the day. 5-minute time frame. Let me just see where's my Asia range real quick. Alright. This is what we've got going on here. Beautiful. Alright, so already a little shift here. We're going to monitor this level right here. Daily pivot, 80 already flipping back bullish. So we're definitely going to look for buys after the 15-minute shuffle. Chad, that is the analysis. Comprehensive as can be. And let's see what we get. Let me just check the chat. Neil working. Beautiful, Neil. Sorry I couldn't help you last night, 10 o'clock. Oh, I did try and help you, but you switched off your PC. Chef Rolly. How are you, my brother? Valentino Williams. I'm a new. Who is Chad? Valentino. Everyone in the chat is Chad.
We are the Chad.
Yeah, boy. Love you guys with all my heart. Chris, once again, thanks for every opportunity you gave us this year. This was just a warm-up. Can't wait for next year. Amen, Jevin. Thank you, my brother. Tariq. Chad. I'm going to Tsepo. Good morning, my brother. Tsepo Moletsane. One of the cornerstones of the Chad. Just an absolute stalwart. Keeping that chat clean and safe for the rest of us. Chad, as mentioned, we're so close to 5k subs. I'm gonna need all of you guys to rally together. Let's share the channel. Let's drive up those likes. Let's get this algorithm working. We are day day in, day out, providing value here. So can I please ask the chat to stand up and drop a like, drop a subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. Join the Discord. Over 1,000 members in the Discord already. I've got a lot of things planned for the Discord this year. This year was just there was a lot going on, and ultimately I want to do a lot more in the Discord. However, time.
Yeah, we're just getting started too, though. Like, when did the stream start? It's like three months ago, 4 months ago.
Three and a half months ago.
3.5 months, man. Like what this channel's been able to do, the information, the value that it's been provided over the last 3.5 months, and we're just getting started, folks. Just getting started.
Chat, join the Discord. Link is in the description. We've got almost 1,100 guys in there. I'm going to share some books here as well. A nice little education section. We're going to go through that very, very shortly, and we're going to continue with day 3. I've got nothing planned for the rest of the day, so I'm going to spend some time here with you guys. Tomorrow is going to be a long one as well. Chad, I unfortunately need to take Friday off. We are leaving on Saturday, and I just have some errands to run. So tomorrow we will be doing the Zoom as well. So I'm going to try and get through a lot of the content I want to get through today and tomorrow. So Friday, I hope that's fine with you, Chad. Is it fine if I can get a day's leave on Friday? I'll just put in a leave form just for the chat to sign it off. But Chad, yeah, let's drive up those likes. I need the chat to come through for us. Support the channel.
Vince got your back. Vince says send to him.
Jordan, Gibbert, hey James, hope that 5k sub comes in ASAP. Rocky just dropping into the like, and wish all a blessed year end. Working like a dog and no time to trade and watch the stream, but much love. Shot Jordan. See,
shot brother.
That is what I'm talking about. That is what I am talking about. Alright, chat, markets are open and in motion. Still 10 minutes left for the 15-minute shuffle. I see somebody said he's already in UJ longs. Nice, my brother. I'm unfortunately needing to wait for that little 15-minute shuffle. Also have that round number right there.
Like explain to the chat why you have that 15-minute shuffle rule.
So Chad, as mentioned, I don't do anything without data and facts. And I went through a period where for instance, I would get the daily analysis right. I would get my bias right, but I would execute too early. And a lot of times I wouldn't wait. At the open, I would execute, get stopped out, and then shortly after it would go into my direction. Then I went into a very intensive journaling journey, you can almost call it, where I literally checked how I'm managing the trade. I must actually go back and show you guys. After I took a trade, this entire chart was full of text, mindset. How did I manage the trade? Why did I move my stops? Why did I enter the trade? What was happening on the day? Did I follow my plan in terms of telling myself I want to move stops to break even when price gets to that level? Or was I anxious? All of that. And what I realized was that 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after the open, all those trades were usually the correct bias, but I got stopped out because the market would do a little bit of a fake out, a shuffle if you want to call it that, And that is when I told myself, all right, if I'm taking all my losses during that period, why am I trading that period? It's the same with a lot of you. If you go back on your history, let's say for instance you're not profitable on pound yen, why are you still trading it? If you're trading 5 pairs and you are only profitable on 2, cut the other 3. Like if you're only making money after 3-4 months on 2 pairs and you're losing money on 3 other pairs, why are you trading it? Get it off your charts. Don't trade it. A lot of you think it's almost like this thing, I need to beat this currency, or I need to be... No, you don't. You need to make money. So whatever you need to do to make money in the market, that's what you need to do. So yeah, that is...
I feel like a lot. I feel like as new traders, that's the first mistake. That's the first mistake that's made. I know I made the same mistake. It's not basing your decisions on trading based on data. It's based on your feelings, how you feel in the moment. When you're taking profit is based on how greedy you are that day. Which trades you're entering is based on how much FOMO you have that day. And it was only after I took, like, listen, I'm not going to trade for the next 2-3 weeks. I'm going to go back test. I'm going to back test to the point where I'm profitable on my back testing. And until I got to that point, I'm like, if I can't even get profitable back testing, I have no business in the live market. Not to say that being profitable back testing equates to being profitable in the live market, but if you can't even be profitable while back testing, then you're definitely going to be losing money in the live market.
100%.
So I was like, just get some data. Like, a lot of you don't even know which your most successful pairs are. What is your average return per trade? What's your average return per month? What's your average return per quarter? Like, you have no idea of all that data, but you're in the markets every single day. It's like, you have to treat this like it's a job. Like, and at your job, your boss wants, like, listen, like, you've been here for a month now. What have you actually done? And you need to be able to report. This is what I've done. This is how successful I've been. You have to be accountable to yourself in this game.
Chad, like I've mentioned, a lot of you guys are not bad traders. I think there's like little tweaks, like getting pairs out of your arsenal that you're not profitable on. You're trading the wrong times of the day. You're not consistent with that. You're trading maybe 12 o'clock. You're trading 7 o'clock in the morning. You're trading 9 o'clock at night. No. Everything you do needs to be measurable and it needs to be consistent. So if you are trading like every day, it's like clockwork for me. Half an hour before the open, I get to the charts, I do my analysis, I wait for the market to open, I wait for the 15-minute shuffle. After that, I zone in, I lock it in to the pairs that I think that we've got the best opportunity. And after 2 hours, 2.5 hours, no trade, I call it. Why? The crux of the volume is that first 2 hours of the trading session. After that, everything becomes low probability. And you obviously want to trade when the volume is at its peak. Joseph Iwumi, good morning, my brother. Chad, let's get those likes to 100. I'll tell you what, we'll do another giveaway if we can get the likes to 200 today.
Oh yeah.
All the giveaway winners got their accounts yesterday. Franco as well, and CJ as well.
That's the one cuck thing, being the host of the stream. Disqualified myself from the giveaway.
I'll get Edgar a nice coffee.
Like a little consolation.
All right, Chad. 2 more minutes. Then the shuffle has come and gone. Let's see what the XY is going to do here. Somebody asked about, do I think US30 is still going to be impulsive? Just go to the start of the stream. I did a very thorough analysis on US30 and Nasdaq. So go check that out. Let me know what you think, and let's take it from there. All right. I didn't see Neil van der Westhuizen in here this morning. Neela most probably. Chris, no luck, brother. Please, can get assistance from Tech. Appreciate it, bro. 100%. I'm gonna get somebody to contact you.
While we're doing that, the Chad. So are you guys planning on trading all the way to January 1st? Are you guys taking a break at any point in time? What are your plans? What's your vision heading into 2024? Kind of like past Thursday, that's going to be me done. And then after that, I am heavy in back testing a new strategy I've been thinking about. I want to see if my ideas are going to work out, actually. So it's going to be me and back testing for pretty much 3 weeks. Just trying to improve on my skills, get a little bit better.
Jeremy, apologies, man. There where it says current password, put in your current password, put in a new password, and at confirm, just confirm the new password. Let me know if that works. Just need to put in your current password and then the 2 after that. Chris, I wanted to know if the challenge has unlimited days. Correct, CJ Trades, unlimited. No way, I'm calling a year on 21. Backtest till 8. A new setups based on retest. Alright.
Sounds good.
Alright, Chad, Shuffle has come and gone. Let's see how we can get involved here in the markets. We've got UJ here. Let's see if we can maybe get a little bit of a deeper pullback here to 50. Actually going to set some alerts here. We've got quite a number of levels to work from. So HRN half round number. And then also the daily pivot. Let's just set some alerts there at the daily pivot as well. We're going to do the education stuff a little bit later. I just want to see if we can maybe execute on a trade here. So do not fear, you guys are going to get the best of the best here this morning. EJ, Asia lows would be beautiful to catch it off the Asia lows as well. 157.30. Okay, we just get some of the alerts set for us. GU 126.25. All right, EU. What is DXY doing? Chad. If we can clear this level, if we can get a nice strong candle closure above here, I'm going to execute longs. How far are we away from? Okay, 8. Alright, let's see. So get ready, EU. EU is potentially ready to pay us here this morning. So don't spill your coffee when I say, Chad, I'm in buys. All I'm waiting for is that little structure break there. I don't want a little nipple. I want a full closure above there. Two minutes. DXY. Alright. Let's see if we can get it. 200 likes and we're doing that giveaway. Okay, now Jeremy, I'm going to get somebody to contact you.
Danny, do you see 2023 in a positive manner? Like, how do you rate 2023 from 0 to 10? Are you talking about in general or in trading? Because you're going to get two very different answers depending on that. But overall, it's been good. How's it been for you, Chris?
2023.
Yeah. How's the year been?
It's been a busy year. It has been a very, very busy year. Not gonna lie, but it's been a good year. I think it's been a good year for me. A lot of growth, a lot of challenges as well, but overall it's been blessed.
Yeah, 2023 has been a intense year for me, actually. Like going off the back of end of 2022, getting retrenched from my cushy corporate job to starting my own business, trying to rebuild, to discovering trading, to getting my ass kicked by the markets left, right, and center, to eventually becoming funded, to eventually becoming profitable. So it's been a crazy year. Like if you had told me at the end of 2022 what my life would look like at the end of 2023, I would have told you that sounds like a movie event. It has been absolutely crazy, but it's been a wild ride, but I've enjoyed it.
But here's the thing, though: going through all of that builds your character, that builds your just your resilience as a person. And there's always that saying of that smooth seas never made a seasoned sailor. So
that is true.
So a lot of times we shy away from difficulty and challenges where we should actually embrace it, because that's where you grow as a person.
It's that what's this thing, like going through hard things and surviving proves to you that you can go through hard things.
Yeah. A lot of you guys don't even know. Yes, last week I had a little bit of a scare. On my upper chest is like there was like a big lump here. It's still here, and I was like, "What the heck is this?" And I thought maybe it's cancer. Went for scans. When was it? Last week, Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Shit, really?
Yeah, so I went for a scan. Luckily, no cancer. It's just like a little, like, not even a growth. It's like, there's a name for it.
Oh, a cyst?
No, it's not a cyst even. It's just like this little growth sitting there. There's nothing in it. It's just like a little void there. But, yeah, that was pretty scary.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like you and I are both at that age now where random medical emergencies popping out of nowhere isn't uncommon.
Yeah, I know. It's a clear.
That was from the 20 burgers you and Keegan had.
Bro, I think it could be that. all that potassium in those burgers.
All that cholesterol and potassium. You ain't 20 no more, Chris. You gotta be careful.
No, geez, that was scary. I still went. I had to drive to Uitenhage. That's the only place that had an appointment for that week, because I told the doctor, like, I just want to get it checked. I can't go on holiday thinking I might have like a tumor here on my chest, and go for the scan. And the chick that does the scan, I'm like, just be straight with me. Is it cancer? Is it not cancer? She's like, no, it's not cancer. And I'm like, what does cancer look like? And she's like, it doesn't look like this. And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to ask you any further. Sweet.
Take the win and walk away. But yeah, no, I'm keen. I often like getting knocked on my ass a little bit, because my comeback tends to be way better than my previous position. So I'm really keen to see what 2024 has in store.
And how's business been?
Business has been good. Like, I'm a strength and conditioning coach. I work with powerlifters. I'm a powerlifter myself. So I went from end of 2022, like not having a job, to end of 2023. I have a lot of clients spread around the country. We have 2 world champions. We have 5 national champions. So the team's flourishing. Like
and where can guys get hold of you, Edgar?
Hit me up on my Instagram.
Wait, let me get Edgar's Instagram, yeah.
Hit me up on my InstaGeezy. Stronger _ than steel.
Chad, wait, let's get Edgar here. If you're into conditioning, if you want to get into powerlifting, if you just want to generally get into shape.
If you look like a fat piece of crap and you want to be a little bit less fat and a little bit less crappy, let me know. I got you.
Yeah, Chad, here's my thing for 2024. I know I'm fat and ugly, but next year I only want to be ugly, not fat.
There you go. I'm still fat and ugly, but I'm strong, fat and ugly.
Okay, stronger
_ than steel.
All right, Chad. I'm gonna need the Chad to pull through here for my boy Edgar.
Hit a follow, fam.
Stronger than steel. Beautiful. If my back was not this bad, maybe that's one thing I want to sort out as well next year is my back. But Chad, let's give my man. I haven't even followed it. I don't even know that was your page. Let me put this in the chat section as well. Get in contact with my boy Edgar.
Oh yeah, fam. Oh yeah. CJ, you should hit me up, dude. I can probably help with that. Like 1 month is a little bit of a tall ask to add 20 kilos, but we can give it a good attempt.
Chad, please copy that link. One of the mods, for some reason I can't pin it. Please copy that link that I sent there. And Edgar, are you on the YouTube?
I am. I have not posted in a while though. I had a little podcast on there.
No, sorry. I just want you to post that link if you can.
Yeah. Let's see here.
All right, Chad, UJ, nice little pullback. Let's see what she does here at the 50 Euro USD. Still playing around here at Asia lows. DXY, same here, Asia high. So let's see. I'm just waiting for that break of structure and I'm going to execute. What is GU doing? GU hovering here, not interested. 80 is still bearish. Not going to touch that. So let's see.
Donnie, to answer your question, my best bench is 210, which in my weight classes is a bit of a poverty bench, but I'm working on it.
Which AD do you use? I use this one, Danielle. This one right here. Accumulation / distribution with moving averages by Harsha.Imperial. That is the one that I am using. Default setup, relatively default. The only thing I change is I don't plot the 50, I just keep the 200. So there's the 50 overlaid. So I just take the 50 off and I just thickened the lines a little bit. So yeah, by line thickness, just went with the second one. Those thin ones look so undefined.
Everybody loves them thick. I take back what I said about these headphones being comfortable. No, I see why you and King complain, eh?
Why? Is it starting to... Is it starting?
A couple days in a row, it starts to get to you.
Chat, these headphones. Oh, bro, these headphones don't play. These headphones. Talk about conditioning your ears. If you want to condition your ears. All right, Chad. Oh, baby. one more minute. Let's see if we can close above here. How far are we away from that daily pivot? 8, 9. Okay. Chad, just going to wait for a candle closure here. We might get involved in this setup right here. Asia lows have been taken. We had that change of character. We're trading above the daily pivot. AD is bullish. Daily bias is bullish. Everything is pointing to a potential test of the Asia highs and back to this key level right here. Only 15 pips. Holy smokes, this range is tiny. But let's see. I hope she does not run away from us. Let us see. Let us see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
She wants to move. She wants to move.
There's that move. Let's see. GU fighting for its life right here. Chad, I need a little bit of a stronger candle than that. A little nip like. If this candle can just have a nice little full body, I'm happy to execute. But closing like this. Let me just see on my broker terminal. Oh no. Alright. She looks ready. 10.
She wants you. She wants you.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh. Okay. Chad executed on the close of that candle right here. 15 pips stop.
Here we go.
15 pips stop. Yo. This thing hasn't really moved yet today.
No, it really hasn't there.
I'm just going to go for 1-to-1. As mentioned, it is the end of the year, so not going to swing for the fences. Chad, just a continuation trade. I'm going to copy the... Let me just set my stops before I start talking. 15 pip stop. 15 pip target. Just the easy 1-to-1. Nothing too serious.
What's this about Keegan's feet pictures? What? Does my boy got a feet finder account?
I think he's going to try one. Ha! Chad, here's the thing. We can come back to test Asia lows. Only thing I am not concerned about, the only thing I'm monitoring is this level right here. Any candle closures like this, and I will kill the trade. I don't want it to come lower than this, so that is how we'll be managing risk. Other than that, as long as we hold Asia lows, we are fine and good. This is a little bit of a consolidation before the move up. In terms of entry criteria, if you go onto the Discord, this is just a simple continuation buy trade. So let me go here quickly. Let me just snip this for you guys so you can visually see what we are working with. In the Discord, link is in the description of this video. So this is just a simple buy continuation trade. Nothing too fancy. There it is, and let's see how she plays. If you have not yet, follow us on Instagram as well. Link is also in the description. Drop a like, 200 likes, and we're doing a giveaway as well. 5 minutes, John de Villiers. 5 minutes, always 5. Always the 5.
I just watched yesterday. Really impulsive day. Lots of volume in the market. You and I weren't watching it. Watch how today nothing moves.
I rebuked that nigga.
Freaking Murphy's Law coming hot.
Yeah, yesterday was not the day to be on the golf course.
Was not the day. How'd the golf go though? Do you win?
No. So we played skins, and we actually had a little bit of a playoff on the 18th hole, and actually cracked the 3-wood over the green from about 220 meters out. So yeah, that was unfortunate, but Curly, we are doing another giveaway, my brother.
What we say, 200 likes?
200 likes, and we are doing another giveaway.
Come on, folks, hit that like button. Get yourself a nice account. Hit that subscribe button. Share this with your friends. Share this with your grandma. Share this with your cousins, second brothers, sisters-in-laws, trading dog. Share it with everybody.
TP level on EU trade 15 pips, brother. There 109,850. Chad, I'll be managing this trade. Is if we can start reaching these Asia highs, I'll go break even on it. So as soon as we hit Asia highs, and then I'll go break even, and then we'll get into the masterclass.
Keen for that.
I might just need to make me another little coffee, but then we can get cracking on the masterclass.
Where could Nas possibly drop to? Is Nas still dropping?
Oh shit, Nas already at the daily pivot. Sure, the way it's dropping now, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes for this key level, yeah.
What is that, S1?
Yeah, daily S1. Wonder why Nas, specifically Nas though. That is very weird.
Yeah, that is odd.
Let me see if there's any news, Chad.
Listen, like I have PTSD when it comes to gold, Nas, and US30. Those are the three pairs that wrecked my ass in the beginning. I'm like, nah. I got bad juju. I got bad vibes with those three.
Chad, don't look at Nas dropping as a bad thing. This thing is giving you opportunities to get in at a better price. 80 is still bullish. Even better if it drops to here. And then what do? You wait for your reversal buy patterns. If you go onto the Discord, you are going to wait for your reversal trades for your buys. You're going to wait for any one of these two. The reversal trades on the buys are the engulfing are only used on the daily time frame. Lower time frames not as clean. Back in the day I used it quite a bit, but I saw my hit rate on it wasn't that great. So
SAC, the SL is 15 pips from entry.
Yeah, so stop loss is here, my brother. My entry is here, and my TP is there. Simple 1-to-1. We will be managing risk with any closures below here. If we get a bearish candle closure like that, technically it is still valid though, because we're trading above the daily pivot. So at any stage can we come down like this, test the daily pivot and go up, but I will rather look for re-entries, because then that is a 5 pip stop instead of taking a full 15 pip stop if this thing wants to reverse. But just still consolidating, still pulling back. DXY retesting the Asia highs now, so let's see what she does here.
That's one thing I dig about your strategy. It's not something I use myself, but I like the fact that because of how you manage risk, your strike rate doesn't need to be very high for you to be profitable.
No. That's the thing why a lot of you guys have fear when entering your trades, because you feel like you're getting into a car without a driver and there's no brakes. So you've got no control. But with trading, all of the control is in your hands. You can't control the market. You can't control how price is going to move, but you control where you enter, where you want to exit, and how you want to manage the trade. But trading is not a car, uncontrolled car you get into with no brakes. So gold looking to do a dirty dance. What is gold doing? All right, DXY retesting that level. GU, EU. Let's see, 21 seconds. How did the 30 close? Let's just see the 30. Okay, interesting.
Because now what I like about the strategy on your risk management is you've turned a 1:1 into, depending on how things close, like a 1:2, 1:3, if you do end up cutting the trade short at 5 pips. So for every one win, like for every one loss, like one win erases that loss plus more.
Yes. Chad, I didn't close this trade. It literally closed at that zone. As mentioned, we can still do something like this. I haven't closed it. We can still go and test that pivot and then continue up. So I haven't managed anything here as of yet. We'll see what she does at the pivot. So I haven't managed any risk as of yet. What is this pivot level? 109.611. 109.611. All right. Let's see what she does. Daily pivot. This is the first test of that daily pivot, and we need to hold it. And let's see if she can. Basically 10 pips in drawdown now. Is it 10? 8.6. Yeah, I'm not going to manage anything as of yet. Let's see. Okay, UJ holding that 50. Daily pivot there. Asia low still intact, so let's see what she does. I'm not going to take this break of structure here because we are literally away. What is this? 7 pips. Yeah, I'm going to rather wait for something like this, Chad. I'm rather going to wait for something like this before I execute. Because UJ is still negative on the day, so there's a lot of upside potential for UJ. GJ, still waiting for that level to be tested. 80 is creeping here at the 200. We also have this 182 that we can potentially execute from. Okay, let's see, 182. We can monitor the 182 level and then EJ as well Just want that nice little tap in there and a break of structure. Oh, Chad, EU is looking ugly. We have now become investors in the euro. We are not day traders anymore. We are now officially investors. Might need to play some music.
Mute to the rescue. Let's
go.
go.
I don't know. Mute. How many pips? 3.8 pips. I don't know if it's too late to play mute.
Where does volume come from all of a sudden?
Let's see. Oh, Chad, let's see if mute can bring that dollar down. I don't know. It usually works. Let's see. Chad, let's see if mute can bring this thing back for us. Is it going to be another day? We are fighting here for our lives on Euro. Let's see if mute can do the job again, bringing that dollar down. Mute, come on, baby. Bring that dollar down for us.
Here we go, baby. Here we go. She is coming back.
Chad, we are fighting here. We're not gonna leave here without a fight.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Bring the volume.
Oh, baby. Can we survive this?
She is coming. She is coming back. There's power in this song.
Oh, mute, baby, we need you today. Bring that dollar down for us. We've discovered the cheat code for the dollar. Mute.
Chad, throw some peaches in the chat. We need the volume. There we go, team. There we go. Throw some peaches in the chat. We're bringing the volume. USD going down. Euro going up.
is absolutely fighting for its life, right? Oh, Chad, I don't know.
She's coming. She is coming.
If this thing starts flying from here,
He'll get there. He'll get there.
I don't know.
You must have faith, brother. You must have faith.
Yeah, Chad. Here's the thing, though. DXY at the daily pivot currently. Let's see if it rejects there. We would need to see DXY really rejecting this level right here and actually get back inside of the Asia range. Asia low still intact. Euro USD at the daily pivot. So a little bit of a fighter here this morning. However, if you just look at your line chart, you can clearly see that the market, the order flow has shifted from bearish to potentially bullish. So we'll see. Nothing wrong with the setup. It is a setup that I will take every single time. However, this is the first retest of the daily pivot. Again, we could have waited for the daily pivot to get in here. I got in there. That is completely fine. In terms of managing risk, I said if we get some type of candle closure below this level. However, this was right at that level if you look at it looking left. So couldn't really manage any risk right there. So let's see if this thing can pull through for the lads this morning. So first test of the daily pivot. Everything is still bullish. We are still technically ahead in this trade. Only thing is we would need to get through these moving averages that are diverging here, and then we would need to get back inside of the Asia range. DXY would also need to reject here and start breaking structure back lower again. What did DXY do yesterday? I think it did something very similar. Yeah, first pumped up, came down, and then later the afternoon just absolutely died. But let's see. We're still in the trade. Mute did definitely bring some volume there. Oh hell no, I'm in a gold buy 101. ECB's Nagel with some hawkish euro commentary. Really? Is that...
Oh, is that what happened?
Hawkish is supposed to be positive for currency, so was it not some dovish comments maybe? But anyways, Chad, let's see. Chris, I wanted to ask you, what is this crash 300? Oh, yeah, that's synthetics. Stay away there, my brother. That is a casino job. Synthetics.
Casino job.
No, here's the thing. The synthetics don't represent anything. That's why it's called synthetics. It is literally the rev basically determines the price. So they sit there with the algorithm. If they see the majority of the guys are in sells here, all they do is they push price up, stop them out. Once they see there's a lot of guys in buys there, all they do is they then bring it down. So it is literally like a casino. You don't want to be involved there. I know a lot of guys will say, oh, I make some money from the Riv. You sound like any other gambler. No, I'm net positive with my gambling. No, I make money from it. No. There's no fundamentals connected to synthetics. Your voice very sleepy. Yes, Ed. My voice is sleepy.
Soothing though, I dig it.
Yeah, that's just who I am, unfortunately.
How much it weirds me out when I see someone with a similar name to mine.
Sorry François, as jy nog nie weet waar ons kantore is nie. Nadat Jevin vir jou gesê het 189 Cape Road, dan weet ek jy, François, dan dink ek jy moet by die huis bly en 'n koffiekie daar drink.
Bring an offering.
Jevin actually tagged the brother, François Beetge, 189 Cape Road, Mill Park. François, as jy kan lees, kan jy presteer, my jong vriend. Let me just show François here before he gets upset here. François, in the chat, Javon tagged you there. He gave you the address right there. So please, my brother.
How did you find that so quick?
Be awake. No, I saw it. That's why I didn't answer the dude. But anyways, François, there it is, my brother. And please don't come and visit this week, because after this I've got some meetings tomorrow straight after the stream. Also have some errands to run, so please come in the new year.
And then if you come Friday, no one will be here.
Yeah. So you're more than welcome to come, François. More than welcome. Okay, let's see. Chad, it is not looking good for our position. DXY holding this daily pivot level. We could see some type of deeper pullback. I'm just letting you guys know it is looking not good for this position. Only positive here is we've created a little bit of a resistance here. We have yet to create support, so if we can get a bullish candle closure like this, we are solid. I would actually look for another entry here if we can do something like this. Otherwise we are chalked. I'm not going to manage risk here. What is this? Saving 4 pips. Yeah. I am just holding this bad boy.
This is going to be a repeat of Monday.
Yes, dude. I hope not. Like, I would rather have it stop us out than like just chalk up and down here.
I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it ranging in my drawdown as long as it takes me to profits eventually. I'll wait it out. I'm a stubborn bastard.
No. I would rather have it move. Give me something against my bias. But yeah, Chad, this thing I think very, very likely will hit stops. Unless, no, wait, let me see the hourly. Oh, no. No.
Okay, the hourly's about to close. Coming up on 11.
Yeah, the hourly's gonna close now. Yeah, Chad, only thing that can be our saving grace is if the hourly closes little top wick and then closes something like this. Otherwise, yeah. Again, I wouldn't have sold into this. There's nothing telling me to sell this. If you look at the weekly time frame, bullish on the week. We're expecting this weekly candle closure to take out last week's high, fill that wick, and actually close above here. So I am not at all bearish on the euro. So at no stage would I have wanted to sell this daily as well. 2 consecutive bullish daily candle closures. We still have this range to fill out. So no, at no stage would I have wanted to sell into this. 80 is still firmly bullish. We're going to talk about the 80 as well. You can see the 80 is firmly bullish. And yeah, if I get stopped out, that is completely fine with me. Follow the plan and let's see. So
cheers, CJ. Have a good one. Have a good one, brother.
Cheers, brother. Have a good one. Thanks, CJ. Chad, I'm just going to wait and see if we can close above this pivot. Next 5 minutes, let's see if we can get something like this. And then we're going to kick it off with the education. I just want to see what she does. The way how slow it's moving, we can actually get going with the education stuff. I just maybe want to add another position here if we hold the pivot. Because then what I'll do is, if I get another position here, if we get that break of structure, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to close this one out at break even, because then we've got a better average, and then we can still go for that key level right there. And that's going to give us about 7 extra pips. So let's see. That's all I'm waiting for. And then we can get going with the education stuff. What is DXY doing? All right, Chad, I'm just going to run through the bathroom real quick. Let's look at this thing while it's in drawdown. Okay, let me quickly go to the bathroom so I can get back. Chad, I'll see you guys now.
I got faith in this trade. I think it's going to pull back. It's definitely going to pull back. Might come back to full. The gap opened on the gap on the 13th. Yeah, I'm seeing one on the 19th. Wait, wasn't that yesterday? Yeah, last night. So the gap little open there. Yeah. I think she'll come back. She'll definitely come back. Chad, we still need a couple more likes. We're going to be giving a account giveaway at 200 likes. So go ahead and like the stream, subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your uncle, your dog. When we get to 5,000 subscribers, we're going to fly in one of you guys, one lucky winner from wherever in the country. We're going to fly you down to PE. You're going to come trade with us live and in person. So go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe, share this with your friends. This is probably the only trading platform in SA that trades with you live Monday to Friday, twice a day. So go ahead, don't keep this information to yourself. Don't be selfish. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog. I said, Donnie says dog is loving the stream. I'm telling you, man. We're not what's the word? We're not speciesist in this channel. Everybody can trade. You guys will come to find I have the dumbest sense of humor ever. Okay, what are people saying on the chat? Don't even know if my dad is alive, so one less share. Sorry, man. Well, that just brought the mood down. Do we hope he's alive? Do we hope he's not? Just pop him an email, man. We can still get a share. Or subscribe. Let's go, Chaladonia. We're gonna make this whole thing worldwide. Teresa, you are right. I'll even share it with my side chick. Tariq, you got the right idea there, buddy. We got the right idea there. Now, I have a feeling this trade is going to consolidate for a while. We're already an hour past open. DXY currently fighting at the daily pivot. This is. I have a feeling. I'm gonna call it now. Let's see if I'm right. I have a feeling now. This is gonna be one of those that ranges for like an hour before we get any traffic. And watch how now, because I said that, it's gonna go straight to SL. Good times, folks. Good times. On my side, nothing. Price is nowhere near any of my zones. It's going to be another slow day for me today. I am not trading New York today. I'm only going to trade London today. I'm going to trade London tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be my last day of trading for the year. Then I'm going dark mode. Testing out a couple new entry criteria strategies I've been thinking about doing, and see if my mad genius brain has come up with something or if it's a stupid idea. So I'm going to spend some time back testing, spend my time in education, refining my craft, learning as much as I can. So that 2024 comes, we are better than in 2023. Like I told you guys, I only started trading seriously in March. Only the first time I heard about trading was January of this year. So even though I'm profitable, even though I'm making money, I'm still a baby in the game. So there's a lot to be learned. There's a lot of refining I still need to do. So that is what this next 2-3 weeks is going to be about. I suggest you guys do the same. Don't be that guy who's been trading for the last 7 years and hasn't quite cracked it yet. If you've spent that much time on it, you've probably not been spending enough time being critical with yourself. So be critical with yourself, dive deep into it, really master your craft, become a student of the game, learn your strategy inside and out, learn what your strategy needs inside and out, come back in 2024 and execute like a champ.
All right, Chad. Euro fighting for its life here. Let's see.
I was telling the chat how I'm willing to bet that it's going to consolidate for an hour before it makes up its mind.
No, man. No, it should just stop us or run.
The way it's playing out, I've seen this before. It's going to be a slow day. But Andy, I use a tool called FX Replay. What I like about it is I can actually put positions in. I can manage the positions as if it was a live trade. So the stats I get at the end is simulating what an actual trading day, trading month, trading year would look like. Just that you can do it in faster than you would live. It does have its drawbacks because now you don't have to wait for trades like with EU right now. You would be able to fast forward time. So you still need to be very critical with yourself about what you're doing and why you're doing it, but it's a really, really good tool.
Alrighty, Chad. Let's see if we can get that closure above here. I'm going to add one more position. This position, the first position, I'm actually going to move TP then to entry. And then get out of that position and try and swing this one to Asia highs.
Now, would that count as your 2 bullets for the day?
Yeah. That is the 2 bullets for the day. Remember, here's my thing why are you laughing?
Vince cracks me up. It's like my cat just started watching the stream and he's now a tiger. I call him Tigadonia.
Yeah, Chad. So this because I'm not going to trade this afternoon. I'm going to take that extra bullet here. You know that my strategy, we want to try and get the trades as close as possible to the daily pivot. That gives you the best opportunity to be on the right side of the market. When we took the trade, we were almost 9 pips away from the daily pivot. Everything still lines up for me. You're going to see now when we go through the strat why I took this trade and why I would have not tried to short this market. So that is why I want to see potential closures above here. And what is that going to be? If you go onto the Discord, that is going to be a reversal trade buy. Because why is it a reversal trade? I'm going to show you now exactly. Let me just grab the snipping tool here. Alright, here we've got it. So if we get any one of these two scenarios here at the daily pivot, then I'm going to take it. That is your best setups, getting it as close as possible to the daily pivot. If this thing just flushes down, that is completely fine with me. But if we do get the structure break to the upside, then I'm going to take it right there. Also, one thing to note is that the Asia lows, Asia highs, also I consider to be a pivot. So when you use the cheat sheet, your Asia highs and low, you can also consider that to be a pivot. So if we get any one of these two, let's say for instance we close bearish like this, next 5 minute candle does something like this, beautiful, that is perfect, then that is basically this setup right here that we will be taking. Otherwise, if this thing just hits stop, that is completely fine as well. We took our shot, everything lined up, we were bullish on the day, bullish on the lower time frames. We had that change of character where you can clearly see we were trending down all the way from midnight, and you can see that we broke that bearish order flow. We started creating high highs, high lows, and now we are back here. Maybe this is why this trade is not working out, because a lot of retail traders would have pulled this trend line, but I don't use trend lines. I just purely look at the order flow, and here you can see that we were taking out lows consistently, creating new lows on the session. And then what happened here after this move down, we started taking out that lower high. You can call that a chalk or whatever it is, but the order flow did however shift. So let me just do this, and I think we can, I'm going to set some alerts for us so we can get going with the educational stuff. I'm not going to touch the trade. Is literally 3 pips, yeah, 3 pips away from stops. I'm just going to set an alert here. If we do break above there, I'm going to potentially add another position. Otherwise, we can get going with the education 109.62. 62, little boss there. Then we can enter another position. So let's see. All right, Chad, get your notebooks ready, get comfortable. We're gonna start now with basically the strategy. Monday, I gave you guys the breakdown as to how I establish my daily bias, my weekly bias, and we are now actually gonna get into the nitty-gritty, the strategy. That is usually what everybody wants, is what strategy can I use that is easy. Not necessarily easy. My thing always when I started trading was this.
Pause for suspense.
And sorry guys, I'm just going to take a sip because when you talk so much, your voice actually, your voice tires and your throat actually gets a little bit sore. But Edgar and Chad, let me know if you can agree with me that for the most part, or this is how my mind works. I don't know, Edgar, your mind might work the same. If you tell me that there's a strategy and let's call it a recipe, I would want the recipe to tell me that there are certain steps that I need to follow to basically check myself. So any strategy I feel should have steps where there's no subjectivity, where everything is purely objective. So if you're telling me the strategy, first thing is you look for A, great. Then you look for B, great. Then you look for C and D. And then when you tick all those boxes, then you buy or sell. Let's let's use it in a very straightforward manner. Now, if you go to most of these mentors, they can never give you something that is mechanical. There's always some type of thing where they come up by saying, oh no, I know you would have taken the buy there, but I didn't take the buy because my cat the morning fell off the table and it bit me on my toe. So that's why you took the buy, but I actually took the sell. No, that is the biggest cuck I've ever heard in my life. That is why most of these guys gatekeep all of their shit, because they're using regurgitated information. They're using strategies that have not really been tested. They don't even themselves know what the stats are on their trading. So my strategy, being let's call it a retired structural engineer, my mind works in boxes. I want to make sure that every single box gets ticked, and that is why there was a big part of my trading journey where I struggled, because trading never fits 100% into a box. Nothing is ever going to look perfect like an example I'm going to give you. I think, Edgar, you can agree with me, especially trading smart money. There's like this these diagrams with this ideal trend line liquidity, and you've got the sweep and you've got the order block, but nothing is ever 100% as per that example. Am I right?
100%. I appreciate if someone tells me they use a certain strategy or teaches a certain strategy. I want to be able to, okay, if you tell me you took a buy on GU, I should be able to look at GU and know what your strategy is and be able to tell you must have taken it from this level.
Correct.
You get a lot of those gurus who like it chops and changes. It's different per trade. You're like, I don't actually understand the methodology of what you're doing.
100%. So Chad, here's the thing. Before we start, we obviously need to build the layout for ourselves. So I'm going to start simply with just my chart layout. I use this gray color purely due to the fact it's easier on my eyes. Try trading with a white background. Try trading with a white background. Try trading with a black background. You'll see that your eyes very easily get fatigued. So I use a light gray, a very neutral color, because it's easier on my eyes. I use the EMAs. I'm going to go through all of the indicators that I use. So firstly, I use the EMA 20, 50, 100, 200. Dr. Sweets, that is the one that I use. Most of you are still on a free version, so it's great because it's technically 4 EMAs built into one. So that is the one that I use. I use the Asian range and kill zones by NSR Group. That is purely to show me the Asia range from 7 p.m. New York time till 12 p.m. New York time. You can manually also basically plot it out, but for the most part I use the Asian range kill zones because it already plots it out for me, so I don't still need to see what time of day it is. So Asia range and kill zones, that's the other one that I use. Then I also use the accumulation / distribution with moving averages. Like I've showed you guys, I block out the 50-day period moving average and I only keep the 200. That is purely due to the fact that the 200 is the only important one I'm looking at. I'm not concerned as to what the 50 is doing. I only want to see the 80 above the 200. Here is the other thing to do with the moving averages. The EMAs I do not use as an entry criteria. I purely use it as a confluence for trend, and I'm going to go through it now. Chad, I got stopped out. Here. I don't know if I got slipped here, but I got stopped out, Chad. Minus, let me just see it. Did I get slipped? No, it looks like I got slipped by a pip. But anyway, Chad, I'm stopped out here. Let me just do this real quick. I'm going to leave that there. We can see if we can potentially get some re-entries later, but not anything I'm going to look at right now. What's DXY doing? Yeah, DXY holding that daily pivot. We've got alerts set for the rest of the currencies. Let me just see EJ. Yeah, EJ turning bearish here. GU weekly pivot. Yeah, I'm going to keep that alert there, chat. I'm stopped out. We can see if we can potentially get back above the daily pivot. 80 is still bullish, but we'll see what we get there. All right, chat. So back to the indicators that I use. So this is the Asia range indicator that I use, 7 p.m. to 12 p.m. New York time. I use the bodies and not the wicks. So you'll always see me mark this out manually so that I can establish what is my true Asia range. Secondly, the EMAs are used purely for directional bias. So you need to understand how does a EMA work. So an EMA basically works for those of you that have done stats. It purely uses price for that period. So I need you to understand how an EMA is calculated as well. So for instance, the 50 EMA, the first thing is it is a 15 period, meaning that if you're on a 5-minute time frame, it would use the previous 50 candles and it will give you an exponential average on that. What is exponential? For those of you that don't know, what's the difference between a simple moving average and an exponential moving average? It gives you more weight to the most recent price. So more weight to most recent price. Simple, little bit of dyslexia there. Simple moving average is basically just taking the 50 previous candles and the price you get. So let's call it sigma 50 divided by 50. So taking the price, just purely dividing it by 50, where your EMA basically uses a different formula where it gives you more weight to, let's say, the second third or the last third of price. So it is basically to do with the most recent price action. Let me actually see what is that formula, because I'm also curious now. It has been a couple of years since I've done advanced statistics. Okay. Okay, I'll check here. So it's basically 2 divided by time period. Let's call it TP plus 1. Okay. Okay, but all you need to know is that the EMA gives more weight to the most recent price action. Then secondly, your accumulation distribution. What is this? And I know a lot of you guys don't know what it is. Your accumulation distribution indicator uses price and volume. So it is directly showing you whether buyers are involved in the market and whether sellers are involved in the market. So when you've got an AD that is constantly making higher highs and the overall trend of it is bullish, it is showing you that there's more buyers in the market than sellers. So if you've got an AD that's doing something like this, then it's showing you that the sellers are in control and that the buyers are not in control. So that is the AD. It uses price and volume. The way we use it is we use the 200 period moving average, and we use it simply as well as an indicator to show us that when it's trading above, so that there's a clear directional bias. We don't just say, oh, look, the AD is trending upwards, we are bullish. No, we use the 200 period moving average because it's smooth a lot more. and it's going to give you a better directional bias. And if it's trading above, we look for buys. If it's trading below, we look for sells. Then the other big one that is a crux of the strategy is the daily pivot. So for most of you that don't know, the daily pivot is most probably the only indicator that is not lagged. What I mean by that, the daily pivot will not change. The pivot you see here will not change for the rest of the day because it uses the previous day's price action. How is it calculated? It uses the previous day's high, low, and close divided by 3, and that gives you the daily pivot. This is technically your neutral point on the day. This is where the market is still relatively neutral. You can think of this as the start line, the real start line for price. If you think about daily ranges, Chad's just going to take a little sip here. If you think about price, so every symbol has got an average daily range. So let's call it AVD, average daily range. And every symbol has got a different average daily range. And let's say, for instance, the average daily range from low to high on euro is, let's say, 50 pips. So it is very likely that if you catch the trade from the pivot, statistically, you should be able to catch 25 pips if you catch it in the middle of the day. So why would I try and catch the high of the day if price has already moved above the average daily range? So let's call it price movement, because it becomes less probable then. You want to obviously get it as close to the neutral point, and you want to capitalize on the bulk of that average daily range. So here's the thing now with the 80. Not the 80, the pivot. It also gives us a framework to trade from, but the R1 and the S1 also gives us directional targets, because in a perfect world, what will price do? Price will trade from the daily pivot to the R1. That is the idea around the pivots. Backtesting I've done as well is that if price fails to fully retrace from a R1 or a S1, it will potentially continue to the R2, because then it becomes a trending day. From the R2, it will most likely go to the R3, like yesterday was a trending day. I do not necessarily want to trade from a R1. I want to trade from my daily pivot if I'm bullish to the R1. If I am bearish, I want to trade it to the S1. So in a bearish case scenario, I would have wanted to trade from the daily pivot to the daily S1. This is my higher probability setup. Anything after that is a bonus. This for me is the high probability setup. Any questions so far, Chad, before we go ahead? I just wanted to make sure that you guys understand all of that. Let me just check here. Any questions? Do you use Fibonacci as a pivot? No, I do not use Fibonacci. Has the giveaway happened? No. 200 likes, my brother. No Fibonacci.
Where are we on the likes anyway?
137.
Come on, folks. Another 74. There's enough of us on the stream to get the likes up to 200.
Got stopped out of EU, Tebza. We're looking for potential re-entries if we get it. Closures above here. But we got nipped out here.
Professional song. Are you looking for a what do you call it? Recovery signal?
Professional song. I'm gonna have to time you out, my brother. I'm gonna have to time you out for 24 hours. Sorry, my brother. See you on the other side. See you tomorrow, song. All right, Chad. Now that I've given you all of the indicators, I've given you the framework of how we use it. Now it is actually time to get into the strat. So what I want you to do is please go and download the trading plan / strategy from the Discord, because we'll be working through that. So please go and download that for me. I'm going to open it up here and we're going to start working through it step by step. Let me open it up here. What is DXY doing? Ooh, okay. Still have one bullet left. Okay, where is the trading plan? Okay, here's it. Alright. What the flip? Okay. Chad, I'm going to bring it across. Let me know if you guys can see it. Let me just make sure it is in the middle of the screen.
There's gurus out there who would charge you 100 USD for the information you're providing today.
No more, like 500 easily. All right, Chad. So here's the trading plan. We're also going to talk about a trading plan and how to actually build that. So firstly, the trading plan is set out to ensure you follow a structured approach to your trading. Again, I mentioned the steps. If you follow these steps, there's not going to be any ambiguity, and there's not going to be any subjectivity. It's going to be purely objective when you look at the charts. Here you can see to remove any subjectivity and to ensure that you are consistent in every step of your trading process. Please note that this is my own trading plan and you can construct your own as well. Okay. Indicators that I used, I've already went through all of the indicators that I use, and now I'm actually going to go through my steps. So start of the week, start of the day, it is standard practice to see what economic events we've got on for the day. Ideally, you want to be trading instruments that have news on the day. Why? Because there's going to be volume on those pairs. Instruments that don't necessarily have econ data for the day, relatively rangy because nobody's trading it. There's not any fundamental information to react off. There's nothing new coming out, so it's status quo. You want to be trading not trading into the news event, guys, please. You want to trade the aftermath of the news or beforehand if the market is trying to preempt what the econ data is going to be. Then determine your weekly and daily bias. Your weekly bias will not necessarily change. You establish that at the start of the week. Your daily bias, however, can change. Again, we are human. Again, I say that a short pencil is better than a long memory. Please put your bias in the right hand side of the screen, because some of you machine gunners monitor 50 pairs. By the time you've gone through 15 of them, you got so lost in the source. You want to sell, you want to buy, because you completely forgot what was your bias at the start of the day. That's why visually put it here where you can see it, so that before you execute, you can see, okay, my bias for the week is bullish, my bias for the day is bullish. Why am I selling then? Unless there's a very significant or good reason for you selling against your bias, you stick to your bias. That is very important. I do need to make a clear note of that. Okay. Then Secondly, mark your weekly pivots using the pivot point indicator on the 4-hour time frame. You will always see us go on the 4-hour because the time periods after pivots differ from 5 minutes to 4 hours. So the 4-hour pivot only changes once a week. So this pivot level you see on the 4-hour is valid for the entire trading week. That's why we call it a weekly pivot, and you need to manually mark this out, because if you go to a 5-minute, you will see your 24-hour pivots that change every 24 hours. That's why I mark this out manually. The idea is also that price will trade from the weekly pivot to the weekly R1 or the weekly S1. So I go on my 4-hour and I mark out my weekly pivot, I'll mark out my weekly S1, and I mark out my weekly R1. That is most likely the trading range for the week.
Chris, you might want to check
EU.
Yeah.
Okay. Chad, let's quickly
We're about
check.
to get a candle closure.
Okay. Here's my only thing though. We've created a very, very awkward, like equal low almost here. Let me just see. Tisk. Yeah, Chad, I'm going to give it a little bit more. I want to see if we can hold the test. So here's the thing. We've broken above. Retest failed. There you can see we failed to hold above. Now we've got another closure above. So I'm just going to wait and see if we can do something like this. Test it, hold above, and then break structure. Then I'm happy to give it one more shot. That is my only concern here. If this happened on the first retest, then I'm happy. But due to the fact that we've failed to hold here, and now we're coming here for a second time, I just want to see, and I don't like this. I would have loved if this move here actually took out the pre-market lows here, because I see this still as potential liquidity. So if this did this, taking out that level, then all of those early buyers got stopped out, and there's a lot of volume to go up. So I'm just going to wait for this retest. Let's see how she closes, and then I'm going to wait for a break of structure there if we get it. That is the idea. Alright, Chad, let's get back to... Okay, any further questions, Chad? Let's... DP. David Governor, what is DP, my brother? We're still busy, my brother. We are still busy going through everything. Please don't rush ahead. You're gonna understand exactly what to look for. I'm purely asking you a question on, do you understand what we've gone through so far? Is there questions on that? We've got a lot of stuff still to go through, so relax. That is why a lot of you guys still struggle as traders, because you read a book for 5 minutes and you want to know what the ending is. Alright, so we've done the weekly pivot, we've done Asia range. Here you can see I've also given it to you is between 12 to 6 GMT plus 2. Obviously that is not the case now with daylight savings, so use 7 p.m. New York to 12 p.m. New York. That is the right time. So I think it's 2 hours, so it's from 2 o'clock till 7 now. Okay, Chad, here is now the business end of it. Let me actually clip this so we can bring this across. Where's the snipping tool? What the heck? Okay. Here is the crux of everything we do. The trade setups. Again, all of this is free, chat. Just go into the Discord. Discord link is in the description of this video. All of this is under the education section. So please feel free to join there. And I just want to copy this for us. Okay. Is EU gonna run away from us? Okay, we still have time. I'm just gonna wait, chat. Okay. Here is the thing, chat. Here is... So after we've done everything, we've established our daily bias, weekly bias, we've come into the session, we know what we're looking for in terms of the fundamental calendar. We have already marked out our Asia lows. We've already marked out our Asia highs. Now what we need to do is, what is the ideal trade setup? So from here you can see buys. You want to ideally buy from the Asia low like we did. That is ideally where you want to buy from. For sells, you want to ideally sell from the Asia high. Because why? This is usually where the manipulation occurs in trading, is usually below the Asia lows when it's going to go bullish, or above the Asia highs. That is for the most part where the manipulation occurs, and price will tend to go the other way. The idea of the strategy is that if Asia lows have been taken, and it starts trading back into the Asia range, it is very likely that price will then go for Asia highs, and vice versa. If Asia highs have been taken, and Asia lows are still intact, the idea then is that Asia lows will be the target. Very simple. It is not every single day the same. Some days it happens, some days it won't. Like yesterday, Asia lows remain intact the entire session. But again, if you go back to yesterday, what did I mention? We were looking for potential buys, and I'm going to go through this specific setup as well. So that is your ideal buy and sell scenarios. In terms of ideal buys, you'll see here. I didn't put it there. You'll see that if you trade this strategy and everything lines up like it's lining up now for buys, your ideal buys are below Asia lows, where your daily pivot sits below it. So this is, if we get something like this, this is like your A plus setup, where you're buying below Asia lows, and you are buying from the pivot and it's below the Asia range. The only thing why I don't necessarily like it now is because Asia lows have already been tested and rejected. So that is why for me now it is not the greatest setup. You want something like this, for instance, where the Asia lows are untested, and let's say there was a daily pivot here, because that gives you that advantage of price still wanting to go and retest that level, but you're also getting it from a pivot level. So those are the ideal, let's call it the A plus setups for buys, A plus setups for sells. But then also, here's the other thing, we can get continuation trades where price does not necessarily have to take out Asia lows or Asia highs. This is what I call the continuation trade. So a perfect example here, for buy continuation trades, you want price to move impulsively above the Asia high before the London open, and the retest of the Asia high to hold. So let's go back to yesterday. What did we see here pre-market? Can we classify this as an impulse move above Asia highs? Edgar, what do you rate impulse? That looks very impulsive to me.
That was quick and clean.
All right, so impulsively, and then you want the retest to hold. Another thing is you want to catch the first retest. You want to be catching that first retest. Why? The more times a level gets tested, the weaker it becomes, not stronger. I think somewhere in some of the retail courses they say, yeah, the more times a level gets tested, the stronger it becomes. No. The reason why it does not become stronger, because it actually shows you that buyers are not willing to take price away from that level. If a level is strong, buyers are going to get in there immediately. It's not a case of buyers thinking, do I want to get in at that level? No. If that level is strong immediately, like yesterday, boom, buyers came in, took price away. So that is a strong level. Same with a sell scenario. If a level gets tested once and it moves away, that is a strong level. So that is for buy continuations. Now let's look at sell continuations. I think we had, what did we have yesterday or earlier in the week? I just want to see, just want to show you a sell scenario. I'm going to find one now. Was this? No, it's not really. Yeah, looking now at yeah, let me see this. Yeah. All right, here's GJ. This was, I think, 3 weeks ago, 5th of December. Yeah. So this is an ideal sell scenario. Obviously happened late in the afternoon, but here was the continuation trade. You can see Asia highs still firmly intact. Very, very strong impulse move lower. And then you can see we had these multiple rejections off the Asia low. And then we continued lower to go, and we didn't fully test the daily lows, but this for me, you can classify as a potential sell. Again, you want to catch that first retest. I wouldn't have taken this. 1250 yard was completely out of time for me, but that is the ideal sell scenario for continuation, is an impulsive move below Asia lows. Like this, for instance, if we were bearish on GJ for the day, this is technically a perfect sell opportunity. That is an impulsive move lower, and we have yet to test Asia lows. So the expectation would be, once we get back to Asia lows now, if we were bearish, we would expect some type of rejection there, and we would want to see price come lower. But however, we are we neutral on the day? Why are we neutral? Oh yeah, due to the fact we closed at below that resistance level. All right. But that is the idea, Chad. Let me know, is there any questions so far? Where's that text box? Okay, there's it. Let me just bring this back in. So we technically have two setups for each scenario for buys and sells. We've got the reversal trade that for buys, we want to buy off the Asia lows. or we have the continuation trades where we want to buy above Asia highs. That is for the buy scenario. And then for the sells, we also have the reversal one where we want to sell above Asia highs. And then we've got the continuation sell where we're selling the retest of the Asia lows. So there's only two real setups: reversal, continuation. Let me just check if there's any questions in the chat. Chatadonia, any questions?
Now you have Omi the Homie asking what kind of RR are you looking for?
I'm going to get into that now. Let me just see. Why do I use the 4 hour, Daniel? I honestly need you to focus here, my brother, because if I go on the weekly time frame, the pivot level right here, you see on the weekly, that changes once a year. You see this weekly pivot level that on the weekly time frame changes once every 12 months. The daily if the daily time frame pivot changes once every week, or changes every week, so it's valid for entire week. And the 4 hour one, sorry, the daily one per month. So this daily pivot is valid for entire month on the daily time frame. So you'll see period, time period. It is 30 days on the daily time frame. So that pivot will only change every 30 days. And then the 4 hour one is the one that changes every week. So it's valid for entire week. It won't change during the week. Does that make sense? Omi da Omi, we'll get into that, my brother. That is trade management. We'll get into it. We're still looking at strategy. We'll get to the RR now. Gold, please. Chef, what about gold? It is still in the Asia range. As mentioned, you want to see what it does here, my brother. Okay, Neil van der Westhuizen. In a case for buys and Asia high has already been taken, will you still consider buys at Asia lows and vice versa? Neil, no, I wouldn't consider it. If I'm really hard up for a trade, I'll maybe consider it, but no. Because you don't have an advantage point. Asia highs and lows have been taken, so it's very likely it will be a range day. If you get something like this, where Asia highs are now taken and then price comes back here, it is very likely price is just going to stay within this range. So it will technically be a range day. So no, I wouldn't want that. I think we went through everything. Okay.
You have how do you pronounce that? Chalagam asking why the Asia range is so important.
It's not important.
No, but why are you using the Asia lows and Asia highs as your key levels? What makes them the key levels?
So the theory is, for some of you that have done like some of the market maker stuff that is out there, is that the Asia range is usually established to basically create the order flow for the European and the US session. So if you go through Steve Mauro's work, some of the other market maker stuff, it is to do with that concept of where you get range, you get manipulation, you get distribution. Not distribution. You get accumulation, and then you actually get the distribution. This is for a buy side scenario. So the theory is that the Asia range is that initial range that gets set, and they fake out using the Asia range. So they fake out from the Asia range and then the true move happens. So in a sell side scenario, the theory is that you'll have basically the range, you'll have the fake out, you'll have the accumulation, and then the distribution. So again, it is that market maker cycle. I don't know how much validity it holds, but also in terms of the Asia range, it is from the specific Asia range that I use is from ICT. And he always, like, his entire theory is based around the Judas swing, where the Judas swing, technically it's just a manipulation, where he talks about waiting for the Judas swing, that is the false move, and then the real move happening. And then after a while I was like, alright, this guy's putting so much emphasis on the Asia highs and lows, but a lot of times, for the most part, a lot of times you don't get the Judas swing that he talks about of 25 to 30 pips. And I was like, but how can I get involved in the trades just using that? And that's when I started using the method of seeing, oh flip, if I'm bullish and we hold Asia lows, very likely we're going to go to Asia highs and vice versa. And that is why I established this, because this is also from backtesting a lot of the data. So yeah, that is why the Asia highs and lows are important. Okay, up next, if you are using the flashcards for the entry criteria, please note the following. I consider the Asia high and low also as a pivot. I've mentioned that before. And I also mentioned I only execute on the 5-minute time frame, and all my checks are done on the 5-minute. In example, AD, EMAs, the pivot level, everything is done on the 5-minute. My trade management is done on the 5. Because if you go to the 50 now, you'll see that the AD looks different. The AD on the hourly looks different as well. So I purely use the 5-minute AD to trade. Any questions thus far, Chatadonia? Chris, in case we're looking for buys or sells from a key level and the key level is located within the Asia range, will you still wait for Asia lows or highs taken before? Yes, Neil. I'll still wait, because that is the setups that work. If I miss the trade from the middle of the range, that is fine with me. Then what I'll wait is, let's say for instance in a buy scenario, then I'll wait for an impulsive move above the Asia highs, and then I'll get the retest. So no, I wouldn't take it. Chad, on that, it's good that Neil mentioned that. Key levels. Let's quickly talk about key levels real quick. I feel a lot of people don't know how to establish key levels. So if you go onto a daily time frame, there is a theory that the market has got memory. And what do I mean by that? The theory is that certain levels have a psychological impact on the market. Because, for instance, like an all-time high level, an all-time low, a previous resistance, a previous support. So a lot of times the market is going to look back and say, oh, flip, 2 weeks ago, buyers really stepped in at this level, so why would they not step in again? That is why I'll take a buy. Or the market wants to break that level and now it becomes a resistance. So key level is purely a level previously where you had a lot of reaction from it. Key levels are not really that objective, because I can pull a key level right there and you can still grab a trade from it. Somebody else that does key levels can have it here and it can still be right. I just more or less look left and see where the most reaction was off a level, and I want to get it as close as possible to the flat body closures. Here's the thing with key levels and even with candles. Candles do tell a story, wicks do tell a story, but ultimately where price opened and closed, that is the final chapter of the book. The wick just shows me that at one stage during the day price was there, but price closed here. So that wick can tell you a lot of stories, but ultimately the most important thing is where the price close and where the price open. So that is why I want to get my key levels as close as possible to previous areas of reaction. I don't necessarily use key levels to trade from. I usually use it as a target, or if a key level lines up with the pivot, great. Other than that, it is purely to give me ranges that we can trade in. Like I mentioned today, very likely this will be the trading range for the daily session. Yesterday I gave you the key levels for gold. If you remember yesterday, I said very easy, Chad. Buys above here, sells below there. Wait, anything in between is going to be choppy. If you go to the 5 minute, go and watch yesterday's analysis. If you don't believe me, what did you see here? It was very, very chop all the way up. And once we started breaking above that 2034, I said, go and watch it. You can literally quote me on it. I said, once we break above this level, you're going to get an influx of volume because it's a key level. And what happened there? Break above, little retest on that 5, and away it went. How much did it move? $12. Not the biggest move, but it's big. All right. I actually need to take a sip of water. Charadonia, any questions on that? We now know what we're looking for buyers. We know what we're looking for sells. Now it comes to what the entry criteria is. Just want to grab a sip of water here.
The account giveaway is still on, folks. We need another 48 likes. So come on, we're giving a lot of value on this one. A lot of people will be charging a lot of money for this kind of information. So go ahead, drop a like. Let's try and get like up to 200. And if we can get that, we're going to be giving an account giveaway today.
Chris, in a case where we're looking for buyers, okay, I went through that. Chris, if the daily, weekly, half round number, round number is located below or above the Asia highs, lows, and that level will hold, will you buy or sell from that level or wait to see if Asia high or low holds? Nila, in a lot of cases, I will buy or sell, and I will use, let's say for instance here, let's say we took this reversal buy on EU when it closed above there, and there's Asia lows. What I would want to see is I would then want to see price clear it. I would want to see price get above it and hold it. That's the thing with key levels. Think of price holding a level. So if price is constantly holding above a certain level, very likely it will go to the next level. And what Neil is talking about is exactly this. If I executed there, I would have monitored this and went break even there. Because at any stage, previously we rejected here, so at any stage again can we reject and come lower again. Mila, does that make sense, brother? Sunil, I've given you a strat, brother. You can go and look at pound franc and you can make a decision. I've given you the tools. Let's look at pound franc. Pound franc is bearish, my brother. It is bearish. You can wait for your sells there. Asia lows untested. Set your alerts there and wait to see if you get a reaction. Alright, Chad, now the big thing is this. and you can print it out for you, is what is your entry drill if you're looking for continuation trades, reversal buys, and you can see all of this clearly in front of you, so you know exactly what you are looking for. You don't have to guess. You can see if it fits the criteria, you execute on it, and that is purely what trading is about. So my strategy is very simple in that regard. If I look at UJ, what did I say? There's Asia lows. I said I wanted to get long on it. I said I wanted to see a retest of the half round number hold, but not at any stage that I get my entry criteria. Euro USD gave me entry criteria this morning. If I look at, where's Euro? So Euro, if you look at all of my rules for buys, you want to ideally buy from the Asia low. And let's quickly do the tick boxes, and we can actually add this. So let's quickly go your checklist for the trade. Daily bias. Okay, checklist for buys. Let's be specific here. Daily bias is bullish. Price is, or let's just say EMA's bullish. Price trading above the daily pivot. Price respecting the Asia lows. $80 is trading above the 200. 80 trend is bullish. So let's quickly check our trade this morning. So firstly, daily bias was bullish. We've got that ticked. EMAs were neutral, so that is a 50-50. All of the EMAs were not above the 200, so that box is a question mark. The EMAs were not bullish, it was neutral. Price was trading above the daily pivot, so we've got that one. Price respecting the Asia lows. We had a test there and a test there, so I would consider that it was respecting Asia lows. The 80 is trading above the 200 EMA. Yes, it was. The 80 trend is bullish. Yes, it is bullish. You can clearly see just visually. So the only thing that did not line up on Euro USD this morning was that the EMAs were not strongly bullish. Is that something that I should not take? No, because at any stage can the 80s start flipping bullish again. So that is part of what we do in trading, is that there is the sense of where price is doing this at the moving averages, where it can consolidate, but again, that was this morning's trade. So we had 95% of our criteria met. The only thing that was a little bit out of line was the moving averages, that is technically neutral, now flipping bearish. It's amazing what y'all are doing. Discovered this channel like a week ago and I've learned a lot. Thank you guys. Amazing, brother. Why are round numbers important? Round numbers are important due to the fact that it is a psychological level, and it is a level, I don't know if it's to do with bank algos. I think years ago you could only trade like bulk orders at round numbers. So yeah, that is why round numbers, half round numbers, it's almost like the quarters theory. It's just levels where price usually reacts from. Yo, Chad, I've talked a lot now. Holy smokes. Any other questions? I think I'm done talking. I'm going to give Edgar now opportunity to... Edgar, are you ready? You haven't talked a lot.
Yeah. I can show the chat how my strat goes.
All right, Chad. So that was my strat. Tomorrow, what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to go through trade execution and trade management. I've given you all the drills. I've basically given you the entire cake. The only thing that's missing now is the candles and the cherry on the cake, and that's going to be the trade management. And that is very, very important. The strategy is not great without great trade management. So that is why you need to be tomorrow again when we go through that. The session is not done. I'm going to give Edgar the opportunity. Edgar is a smart money. Edgar, is it just SMC? Is it like a hybrid?
It's a bit of a hybrid, bit of my own little mix to it, but the basic structure of it is SMC.
Okay. Chad, I'm just going to answer this call. Edgar, you are live, brother. Give it to the Chad.
Go. So, as Chris loves saying, the first thing that you guys need to realize is that the market is fractal. And what that means is the market, like what's inside a weekly or a monthly timeline is inside a daily, is inside a 4 hour, is inside a 1 hour, is inside a 15-minute. So if we, for example, look at something like this and take this as a, let me just anchor that. No, what's the anchor button? Lock, there we go. If we take something like this being our overall market structure, and let's say this is the 4 hour. So this is the 4 hour in a bullish trend. What you get inside the 4 hour is our little 15-minute structure inside of it. So even though on a 4 hour timeline, this all looks like one simple singular move, inside it is made up of the 1 hour, is made up of the 15 minute, is made up of the 1 minute inside. So if we look at this diagram, so what we're looking for in an SMC structure is we're looking for these trends. So SMC works best in a trending market, not a ranging market. And it doesn't matter what timeline you're trying to do it on. Everyone's a little bit different on their approach, but you're just realizing that inside these timelines are smaller timelines. So what we'll be looking for, let's say, pretend this is the 4 hour structure. So what you're looking for is these little breaks of structure, or if it goes the other way, a change of character. Now what that means is this is a point where price has created a high, done a pullback, and then broken its own high. So we call that a break of structure. Now, what you're looking for in terms of your trading is you're looking for these little order blocks where the break of structure originated from. So you get those at multiple different levels: bearish order flow, bullish order flow, bearish order flow, right where the candles have started this little break up. That is where the points of interest you're interested in. So now every order block is either a demand or supply zone, or rather all our points of interest are going to be order blocks, which are demand and supply zones, but not every order block is going to be a point of interest. So that is where you need to figure out exactly how the market is flowing. But in terms of our entry setup, so what you're looking for, in fact, before we go to that, what we're looking for is, if we explain what my entry criteria is, I'm looking for a trade, is I'm looking for a trade to meet 4 specific things. So if we zoom into this, so what I'm looking for is price has to create a break of structure or a change of character. If it has not done that, I'm not interested in the trade, I'm not getting in. 2, that break of structure or the order block, demand zone or supply zone that it's created must be unmitigated. So after a break of structure, if you look at this diagram here, after a break of structure, price creates a break of structure here, and then you have an order block that it has left behind. So these 2 candles are the 2 candles that originated this move up. This 2 candle order block must not be mitigated, meaning price should not have returned back to that point. Once price returns back to this order block, it's considered mitigated. It means price is not going to respect it, or price is less likely to respect that zone because price has already tested that zone. So unmitigated basically means untested. That order block should be untested. There must be an imbalance or a fair value gap in that price action. So we can see here, there's a nice little fair value gap between this 1, 2, 3 candle setup here. There's a fair value gap right above that demand zone. So fair value gaps tend to be liquidity. It tends to be a nice good point for the market to grab some liquidity before going in a specific direction. So you want available liquidity to be there. So besides the fair value gap as liquidity, you also want price action liquidity available in above or below the zone you're looking for. So that liquidity can be in the form of trend lines, flags, double bottoms, triple bottoms, or anything like that. You want price to have danced just above or just below that zone for some time before returning to. If price spikes up and spikes down, if we show you an example of what that would look like. So if we, let's just get rid of all of this. So for example, if you get a scenario where you get your break of structure, but then price immediately taps right back into the order block, then that demand zone that has been created here is a lot less likely to hold steady because there isn't any liquidity that has built up to induce price to go back in your direction. So you want there to be a little bit more of a reaction, a little bit more of a delay of price returning back. So the more ideal scenario would look more like this. A little bit of a slower reaction before price taps in and shoots away. So that is more or less what we're looking for. So how that would look in our, let me get out of zoom mode here. So what that would look like is this. So you're looking for that break of structure, that little demand zone created there. You have a fair value gap in there. You have trend line liquidity coming back down to the zone. You're looking for to enter right at the top of that demand zone. Stop loss right below that demand zone for it to tap in and shoot into your direction. So a little live example or a previous example of what that looked like. So here was your setup. You had the break of structure. You had the liquidity building, and what did price do? It tapped into that zone, immediately flew back up. This is a great textbook example of where there's like zero drawdown to it. There was enough liquidity. A nice liquidity comp firm I like using also is for that demand zone to be right underneath the Asia range, or if in a bearish example, right above the Asia range. It to take out the Asia range, take out the Asia low, and then to spike up. If it's just below the Asia low, and it lines up with the demand zone, that tends to be a really good spot to take your entry from. So to get a little bit more complicated, so now let's go to, what's this thing? Let's go to the market here. So why I was emphasizing how the markets are fractal, meaning the 4 hour is inside of the daily, is inside the weekly, and so forth, is what now you need to try and understand here is it's not just enough to figure out, okay, cool, here are my demand zones, here are my supply zones, I'm looking for price to tap in here, it's going to come down with me, all good. What tends to happen, and what we need to also look out for, is there is an overall structure to how the market is moving. So if we look at this daily time frame here, so I've marked out, we have daily strong highs here, daily weak lows here. And what that means is on the daily timeline, we've had a nice little break of structure to the upside. This break of structure created a new high. We had a change of character or a break of structure to the downside here that took out the low that created this high. Now what that then tells us, so if we have here, let's mark that out just to make things a little bit easier to follow along with. So what that signifies to us, now how I like to think about it is the price doesn't move by accident. If something happens in the market, it happens for a reason. So if we have this break of structure, it means there was a lot of money pumped into the market in a buy position that to induce this break of structure. Break of structures, particularly on the higher timelines, are not something that happened by accident or happened without conscious effort. It means a lot of buyers came into the market, they pumped a lot of buy positions in, and that was strong enough to induce this break of structure, this bullish leg. Now, for this bullish leg to then be broken down, breaking that low, there was good intention that a lot of sellers came into the market, and thus this is a really important thing to look out for. So if you get this much bearish momentum after that bullish leg, chances are there is a lot of sellers in the market right now. So those are things you need to look out for. So when you're trying to trade on a daily basis, on an intraday basis, these are the kind of things you're also looking out for, because there's traders in the market who are swinging on a day-to-day basis, they're swinging on a weekly timeline, they're swinging on the monthly timeline. They're still active in the market, even though on a day-to-day, their presence might not be as felt. So what I like to look out for is on the daily timeline, I'm trying to look out, okay, cool, what is the overall structure I'm working with here? If you have this change of character that's come down, it's created a strong high. The high is strong because this high is what led to that break of structure to the downside. It's what led to that change of character. The implication of that is then this high is not going to easily be taken out. It's going to take a lot of money in the market to take out this high. So thus you can have the reasonable assumption that the probability of this high being taken out is low. So any supply zones are next to this high are probably going to hold steady. So already, if price comes all the way up here, if you take a buy position somewhere here, you know I can't swing for the fences with this one. I'm not going to be able to swing this trade up because it's trading into a strong high. So any buy positions are most likely going to be short-lived if they come anywhere near this zone. So if price comes anywhere near this zone, it immediately tells me I'm not trying to buy into this. Until this high is broken, I'm not going to try and buy into it, or I'm not going to try and buy for a long period of time. Once this high is broken, however, then the probability of price continuing up is a little bit greater. Similarly, with this weak low, I'm not going to try and buy close to this weak low, because this low has failed to create any higher highs. It has failed to break structure in any regard. Thus, price is probably going to want to target these weak lows. So any buy positions you have down here probably not going to hold for a long time. If price is coming down steeply into this position, any buy positions are not going to hold down here. However, if we go back in time to before that bullish leg, so any late stage buy positions are probably not going to hold. Early stage buy positions, and by early stage I mean we have just now created this weak low, and we've just now created the internal break of structure to the upside. So we can consider this a break of structure to the upside. Let me just label that. So I would call this more like an internal break of structure. So because we've now confirmed this weak low, we've broken structure to the upside. So we've broke structure to the downside with a change of character. We've now broken internal structure to the upside again, confirming this weak low. That tells me, okay, cool, because we've had a change of character in the break of structure, this eventually needs to pull back at some point. I know it's probably starting its pullback because we've had another little internal break of structure to the upside. This tells me that buy positions around here are probably likely and a good idea for now, because we need to, this leg needs a pullback at some point. So because it needs a pullback, we have confirmed that buyers are starting to step into the market with this break of structure. Having this position down here makes sense, and you can probably swing this position for the fences. Why? Because you know that this entire leg needs a pullback, and we have now had buyers step into the market. We have this entire range now to play with of like 600-ish, 700 pips almost. This you can probably swing until at least the premium of price up here. And I'll explain what premium and discount of price means in a minute. But this would be a good little swing trade if you wanted to swing it. Why? Because structure is on your side here. But after all of this has played out, and you've had price swing all the way up, and you've had price that wants to start coming down, if we go back to live, once price comes back down to this level again, it is no longer a good idea to try and swing price for the fences back up. Because now you're no longer looking, even though this structure here, your main swing structure, your daily strong highs and your daily weak lows still remain intact. The second pull down to the weak highs for buys, not a good idea, because you expect these weak lows to be targeted and broken because the daily strong highs have been respected. Okay, before we go any further, any questions on that? I can't actually see the chat. Any questions there, Chris?
No, nothing yet.
Okay. So that is basically how the structure, how you look at, this is daily structure now. So daily structure tells you what your overall bias in your market is, what kind of trading environment are you going into, and how far or how likely your positions are to hold while you're in them. So even so on the daily, this is what we're looking at. This is the overall structure. You know that this change of character needed a pullback. It's now pulled back. After this, you're like, okay, this pullback needs to end somewhere. So how do we determine where a pullback is going to end and how far price is likely to go into? So that's where we look at premium versus discount. So if you look at the entire range of this move, so where your high and where your low is, you get what I'm saying? You look at what the 50% of that move was. So taken from our strong high to our weak low, our 50% is that mark over there. So what that is talking about or talking to is down here is the discount of price, up here is the premium of price. So when you're buying something, you're trying to buy it at the lowest possible price that you can at a discount. So all the buys coming here are at discount, and when you're trying to sell something to someone, you're trying to sell it at the most expensive price that you possibly can. That is the premium. You're trying to sell it at a premium and buy it at a discount. So now the market works in a very similar way. At the bottom of this move at the discount is, price is likely, the pullback is likely to continue upwards. You're likely to continue buying up until you get to the premium of price. Once you reach the premium of price, the probability of price going much further higher starts to reduce. And you can see here on this daily timeline, we got to premium about halfway up to the premium, and price has been stuck there for a couple days now. So we got here at the 28th of November. It is now nearly a month later, and we have not pushed further into the premium of this price. This suggests that the pullback is likely probably almost over. Price is probably going to, at some point here, reverse and target these weak lows. So that tells me now, okay, cool. If I'm trying to buy, buys are not going to be long-lived in this market. We're in the premium of price. Any buys are probably going to be short-lived. They're probably going to be smaller time frame pullbacks. So this is what it looks like on the daily. We go up to the 4-hour, and the 4-hour has its own structure to play with. So on the 4-hour, we had a bullish push up, which was part of the daily's pullback. So this 4-hour structure is part of the daily's pullback. So this structure up, 4-hour came up, created a new higher high, and then broke structure to the downside. So we had a 4-hour change of character that happened here. So we'll call that 4H chalk. And we had the 4H break of structure just before that. Let's get rid of my little marks here. I can always bring them back. 4H break of structure. So we had a 4-hour break of structure here that created a new high. Its low was then broken down here, and that created a 4-hour change of character, which most SMC traders have taken like, okay, cool. Because we got this 4-hour change of character back down to the downside, it probably means that the daily pullback is over. This would have been valid to try and take supply zones up here. Let's get rid of these for a sec. Supply zones up here and try and swing these down. So, which is precisely what happened. You had this change of character. So every break of structure or change of character needs its own pullback. Any major change of character or break of structure. So we got the 4-hour change of character here, led to its pullback, and this was respected. So you can see right here, price reached the supply zone up here that formed the 4-hour change of character, reacted immediately down, and we got some bullish pressure in. So what the expectation from price moving forward from here is price is likely to target these 4-hour weak lows here at some point. So we got the 4-hour change of character, the 4-hour pullback, price respected, mitigated 4-hour supply, and we're eventually expecting price to dance around and target these 4-hour weak lows, which will eventually also target the daily weak lows here. So if you can get into a good sell position here at either supply zones over here, you can probably hold this position and swing it for the fences because price is aligning with where we're expecting it to go. Now, price doesn't have to do anything. These are all just probabilities. So we're using the probability of if enough pressure came into the market to cause this change of character, that there's a high likelihood or a high probability that this strong high is going to be respected and thus lead to good shorting opportunities coming down. So now that we understand that, when you go down to the 15-minute timeline, which is my execution timeline, we then know, okay, cool, there's break of structures and change of characters in the 15-minute timeline as well. So here,
sorry, Edgar. So you execute on the 15.
yes,
Okay.
the 15 is where I execute. So I look at daily to just confirm what the overall, over the next couple days, weeks, and months, what is price trying to do? So if we go to the daily, I know price is eventually trying to get down to these 4-hour week lows. What I don't know from the daily is exactly when is everything going to swing around and align to target these 4-hour week lows, because we can still have little minor breaks of character and breaks of structure, changes of character in here before eventually targeting these week lows. So
Edgar, can I ask you at this stage to, I don't know if you've recently taken a trade, show us, take us through maybe one of your most recent buy trades and one of your most recent sell trades.
Okay, I do not have my back testing stuff on me here, but I
or
can,
even okay. Let me ask you this. This is always interesting for me. Let's say you've established. Let's say you want to buy and you've got a nice order block in a discount. Do you go with a pure pending buy limit, or do you wait for price to first get into that zone, or what is your entry criteria? Because I think a lot of guys are familiar with the SMC concepts. I think where there's a lot of various ways is some guys go with a straight simple pending buy limit or sell limit, and some guys wait for price to come into their order block and then they actually wait for a 1 minute to do like a chalk and a boss, and then also in that 1 minute there's usually also a little order block. How do you execute limits?
So now it all depends on where structure is at the time. So for example here, let's take it from here, most recent price action. In a situation like this where I am reacting off, I know the daily pullback. I know this, we have the daily change of character, there's the 4-hour one. We had the 4-hour change of character, and we are coming back to what I believe is going to be a strong high. And I know that if the eventual expectation of price is to target these, the daily week lows, and by extension, the 4-hour week lows. So in a situation like this, I'm just going to put a limit order in, because I know like my overall bias is bearish. I think they have bearish market structure. I think supply is in control. So in a situation like this, I'm just going to put a limit order right at the order block. My stop loss just above where the order block is, in case we have any volatility in wicks that go up. And I'm doing a mechanical 1:3 risk to reward, going break even at about 1.5 RR. Okay. I'm going to put a limit order in there, set and forget, let it do its thing. In a situation where I know the overall expectation is to target these 4-hour week lows and the daily week lows, but I think there's enough of a pullback on the 15-minute, for example here, if we look at this pullback, which was over 70 pips, if I think there's enough volume, or there's enough room to buy into this market, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for an order block in that market, and I'm going to go down to the 1 minute timeline. Look for a 1 minute change of character in that demand zone, and then check for a fair value gap, and then market execute. So execute immediately a buy order in that zone. The reason I'll do that is because I'm going against my bias. I'm going against where I think price is overall targeting. I'm waiting for confirmation that some buyers have stepped into the market for me to ride that flow and ride that pullback up. So if I'm pro trend, then I'm just going to put a limit order in. If I'm going counter trend, then I'm waiting for 1 minute confirmations.
Okay, that makes sense.
So that's the overall. So on that tangent, if I go to this little chalk here, this little diagram here, I think I got this from Proton Trading maybe. So So this basically explains the types of entries you get. So phase A is going to be your swing structure and your internal structure are lined up together in the direction you're trying to go. So in this bullish example here, your 15-minute structure, which is my internal structure, that's a timeline I execute from. My internal structure is bullish. My swing structure, which is the 4-hour timeline, so I use 4 hour for swing, 15 minutes for execution. So my swing structure and my internal structure are all bullish, and I'm trying to go long. That is a phase A trade. It's the one with the highest likelihood of success. So those are the ones where I'm just going to risk enter, put a limit order in, set and forget. If it works out, awesome. If it doesn't, I maybe stepped in a little bit too early. I just got it wrong on the day. A phase B trade is going to be pro swing, but counter internal. So I know that my 4-hour string structure is bullish. I know we're aiming for 4-hour week highs, but the pullback of the 15 minutes, so or the 4-hour pullback hasn't quite ended yet, but I'm expecting it to end at the order block that created the break of structure. So phase B would be this order block over here. I'm expecting the 4-hour strong lows to be respected and for price to shift bullish once again after some bearish order flow. So a phase B is also probable, but it has a lower probability of working out than your phase A's. On phase B, I'll probably still put a limit order in, which we call a risk entry, because you're not waiting for confirmations. Set and forget, put a limit order in, risk whatever percentage of my account I'm willing to risk on this trade, take that up. Because I still have the swing structure in the direction I'm trying to take this overall trade. Your phase C and phase D's are the least probable. Those are the ones where I am waiting for a confirmation entry. So I'm counter swing pro internal for a phase C. So that is at this stage of the game here where your 4-hour has just broken structure and it is now doing its 4-hour pullback. So on the 15-minute timeline, I'm bearish because I'm using the bearish 15-minute down to ride the pullback of the 4-hour. So it's pro internal structure because your internal 15-minute structure is bearish, but it's counter your swing structure, which is bullish. So on the 4-hour, you're bullish. On the 15-minute, you're bearish. That one, I'm going to wait and see and confirm that indeed the pullback of the 4-hour has started. And that's when I'm going to go down to the 1-minute timeline and wait for the 1-minute change of character at a demand or supply zone, confirming that yes, there is some pressure going in the direction I want. And then phase D, least probable of all, that's your counter swing, counter internal. That is you basically trying to predict exactly where the pullback is about to start. That one, I don't tend to trade at all, actually, just because the markets can be really unpredictable. There's certain seasons in the market where this can work sometimes, but it is the least probable trade you can take in the SMC. Most of the stop losses you're going to get hit on are going to be from phase D, where you're counter swing, counter internal. So I normally just leave those out completely. I confirm enter on phase C, and I'll risk enter phase B and phase A.
Edgar, another question. How often do you get trades? Looking on average, if you follow your plan exactly, how many trades a week do you take?
So for me, it's seasonal. So I have some months where I'll take a trade roughly twice a week on average. I'll have some months where I have taken 4 trades the entire month.
Oh,
so
really?
It can be really slow, especially if you're only looking for the phase A and phase B setups. So initially, I only did the phase A, phase B setups. Trades did not come as often because the criteria for those are really strict. However, my strike rate was higher then. I think I had something like a 75% strike rate when I was only taking phase A and phase B. I introduced phase C into it just to be able to trade more often. Strike rate comes down to about, I think now I'm about 53%. I have to check my latest stats. So the strike rate has come down, but because I'm looking for a mechanical 1:3 RR, I'm overall a little bit more profitable with a slightly lower strike rate because I'm entering trades a little bit more often.
Okay, so you actually gain more percent on the month.
Yeah, so I
even though your strike rate dropped.
Yeah, so that's a wonderful thing about
Okay.
risk management is even though the strike rate dropped, I'm in more losing trades. I'm only losing 1 R per losing trade, but per winning trade, I'm typically getting 3 to 4 R's. So even though the strike rate came down, the profitability overall came up.
Psychologically, how do you control yourself to wait? Because I think that is the big killer. I've told you guys, a lot of you guys are actually not bad traders, but you overtrade.
You know what? Funny enough, I stumbled across the patience almost by accident. It came from trying to machine gun trade, getting absolutely clapped, accounts being blown, to now I was almost too scared to take a trade. I think I went through a month or two where I would have the setup, it meets my criteria, and I just hesitate on actually executing. So now I went from trading too much to trading too little to now fixing that problem to where I trade just enough to where I'm profitable. I think there's still some refinements to be made. That's why I said, like, after Thursday, I'm going to be back testing, getting as much data on my strategy as possible to find the real sweet spot on my execution. But at least now I'm trading often enough that it's profitable, and I'm avoiding a lot of the bad trades I would otherwise get into because of FOMO, because of fear of missing out. Like I found for me, like it's you have to get to know yourself a lot. So I realized, like, a lot of what was driving me in the market was greed and fear. So it's just getting rid of that greed and fear and be like, listen, I almost treat this like a video game. It's like I'm trying to get a certain result at the end. I'm trying to win. I need to be strategic about how I go about that. And if I get too eager, if I get too greedy, if I get too fearful, I'm not going to win. So that's how I've mentally sort of conditioned myself to it.
Chad, I think we are going to continue on that tomorrow. Edgar, can I maybe ask if you've got some entry drills or entry criterias to bring for the chat tomorrow? For instance, how you look at, like you mentioned, that 1 minute chalk and the 1 minute boss and all of that. We're going to wrap it up tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to do trade management from my strat. Tomorrow we're going to do entry drills on the SMC strat that Edgar shared here. I think there's a lot of value in SMC as well. Like I mentioned before, there's no right or wrong strategy. It's only about making money. If your personality is more suited to a strategy like SMC, great. Javen uses it. I've used it before, years ago. Weirdly enough, I told Edgar as well, the most profitable I was using SMC was when I had the least amount of information on it. The more I knew about it, the less money I made. I don't know, it's very weird. But that is the unfortunate thing about trading. Sometimes more information is not good. Chad, we've got 173 likes. The deal was 200 likes. But again, Chad, I think this most probably is one of the most important streams we've done. You guys got the pivot strategy. You guys got the SMC strategy from a funded SMC trader, in depth, giving you a lot of value. Tomorrow, we're going to go through trade management from my side. Edgar's going to prep some entry drills for you guys, and tomorrow another day. Unfortunately today, getting clapped on EU this morning. Like we've said, it is not the greatest time to be trading during this year. However, we caught a nice trade on EJ earlier in the week. We caught those buys. Yeah, was those buys we caught, and we caught GJ. Was it Tuesday? When did we catch GJ? I think it was Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it Monday?
Was this last week or this week?
No, this week.
No, I think that was Monday.
Monday.
Yeah.
Where did we catch that? That was, oh yeah, it was. We caught those sells here. And then this morning, unfortunate little stopperino here. Let me just check EU. I'm checking. Yeah, here's the weird thing, Chad. As mentioned this morning, daily. Let's just look at the daily. Daily is in a very, very odd spot here. It is technically still within this range right here, but I am still bearish on it. Euro USD, the daily as well, still in this range. I do expect it to continue bullish unless it does something like this on the daily where it closes bearish. But in terms of other setups, nothing really that tickles my fancy. Nothing on your side,
Nah, the yesterday's hectic amount of volume put all my points of interest really far from each other, and prices a mile away from them. So nothing that's interesting me for today.
One thing I do need to note is EJ. I'm going to be monitoring EJ a little bit later this afternoon. Daily pivot, Asia lows right there. That's one that I've got my eye on. Gold. Somebody mentioning gold for potential continuation. No. Reason why I say that is we had two very impulsive moves down. We have yet to correct this. So no, I don't want to be buying a session low. This is the session low for London. I will wait for some type of pullback. If we get a pullback and later we come down here, then I will look for continuations, but not on a session low. That is what we're going to talk about tomorrow in terms of trade management and also entry criteria. But Chad, what a stream! I think please go and rewatch this before we take these live streams off at the end of the week. We're gonna make them private, so maybe save the link somewhere. A lot of free value being given. 9:30 tomorrow, Monday afternoon. But again, Edgar, I want to thank you, Chad. Edgar, joining us every day here. He could have been on holiday, but he chose to be here, and I really want to thank you, Edgar, for another awesome day. Thank you for that in-depth instruction on SMC. I'm actually going to go back and rewatch it, but again, thank you so much, Chad. Unfortunately, not 200 likes. Maybe we get 200 likes tomorrow. We're going to do another giveaway, but I just want to say we really do love and appreciate all of you. If you have not yet subscribed, almost on our way to 5K subs, and we are ready to get this train going.
Yes, sir.
Really appreciate it, Chad.
And tomorrow's the last one, eh? Last one for the year.
I think so, yeah. Because Friday I need to run some errands. So
folks, bring your friends, bring your grandma.
Tomorrow's going to be a goodie. Trade management. That is most probably the most important aspect of trading, like I've mentioned. But let's see, what are we going to close out with, Chad?
Make it good.
Let's see what we've got going on here. Ooh, I think we need to close out with this. Chad, peace and love. See you guys tomorrow. Trade safe. End of the year. Tomorrow we're going to finish up. Zoom link will be shared, and you guys will get a chance to chat to us directly on the Zoom. But peace and love, my Chad. Keep it safe.
Adios,
keep it clean.
folks.
Keep it lean.
Yeah, drinking dope turned me to a superhero. yeah. Hit that pill, turn me to a superhero, yeah. Boom, my 90s, turn me to a superhero, yeah. Metro, if young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm on that dope again, I'm on that flow again, switch up the flow again, yeah. Fly down the parachute, gripping that pole again, I'm on that all again, yeah. Candy in the cup, gotta get paid, king in the streets, young nigga made, spraying on the crowd, take to the grave. Ain't having problems, I'm sipping the bar. Shout out to Dallas, my bitch is a star. Nigga get rich, better take you to war. Piss on your casket, shoot at your bra. Do you something nasty, roll you in a car. Bitch get graphic, fuck me in a car. I get your brand new roller tomorrow. I put that brand new roll on your arm. Ain't moving slow, but I'm still on R. Tennis bracelets and they came with the frost. Cuban links all the way up to your jaw. Step up the swag when I step on a bra. $2 and a half, ooh, that's the cheapest one. Stacking these hundreds up like coupons. Told you from up again, upper echelon. I get the stacking up, I'm untouchable. I get to represent money multiple. I'm at the top of the charts, unapproachable. Bread by the loaf, turbo the motor, tic-tac-toe. Kill another vulture, selling the bowls. Bitch do yoga, I deserve rewards. Serving these boulders, 100 grand large when I shop, that's a total. Fill up the garage, bitch, I'm a mogul. Ain't no facade, ain't no fugazi. I jump it off, I get paid. Drop top rush, I'm going crazy. I push off, smoking on haze. Not trying to floss, Cartier shades. Candy in the cup, gotta get paid. King in the streets, young nigga made. Spraying on the crowd, take it to the grave. Ain't having problems, I'm sipping the bar. Shout out to Dallas, my bitch is a star. Nigga get rich, better take you to war. Piss on your casket, shoot at your bra. Do you something nasty, roll you in a car. Bitch get graphic, fuck me in a car. I get your brand new roller tomorrow. I put that brand new roll on your arm. Ain't moving slow, but I'm still on R. Tennis bracelets and they came with the frost. Cuban links all the way up to your jaw. Step up the swag when I step on a bra.
Top night feeling, tired be a hero, but live long enough to see yourself become a
need
villain.
you to pray for me. I need you to care for me. I need you to want me to win. I need to know where I'm headed, cause I know where I'm headed. We both came up on the gritty streets of Jamaica, Queens. 2 street kids, now men. It's sad it had to end this way. But before I go into that, let's start from the beginning.
I've been waiting to murder this clown, B. This nigga's done.
You ready to do this, son?
You crazy? I'm ready to murder this clown. Son, please, get me across the street.
Nigga, you ready to put
I'm ready. I'm ready. Yo, get me across the street. Let me go. Let's go. Let's go.
Many men wish death upon me. Blood in my eye, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. And niggas trying to take my life away. I put a hole in a nigga for fucking with me. My back on the wall, now you gon' see. Better watch how you talk when you talk about me. Cause I'll come and take your life away. Many men, many men wish death on me, Lord. I don't cry no more. Don't look to the sky no more. Have mercy on me. These pussy niggas put money on my head. Gone, get your refund, motherfucker. I ain't dead. I'm the diamond in the dirt that ain't been found. I'm the underground king, and I ain't been crowned. When I rhyme, something special happen every time. I'm the greatest, something like Ali in his prime. I walk the block with the bundles. I've been knocked on the humble. Swing the ox when I rumble. Show your ass with my gun do. Gotta tip a nigga, go ahead, lose your head. Turn your back on me, get clapped and lose your legs. I walk around, gun on my waist, chip on my shoulder, till I bust a clip in your face. Post to this beef ain't over. Many men, many men wish death upon me, Lord. I don't cry no more. Don't look to the sky no more. Have mercy on me, have mercy on my soul. Somewhere my heart turned cold. Have mercy on many men. Many men wish death. Sunny days wouldn't be special if it wasn't for rain. Joy wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain. Death gotta be easy, cause life is hard. It'll leave you physically, mentally, and emotionally scarred. This is for my niggas on the block, twisting trees and cigars. For the niggas on lock, doing life behind bars. I don't see only God can judge me, cause I see things clear. quick these crackers will give my black ass 100 years. I'm like Paulie and Goodfellas, you can call me the Don. Like Malcolm by any means, with my gun in my palm. Slim switch sides on me, let niggas ride on me. I thought we was cool, why you want me to die, homie, homie? Many men, many, 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 many men wish death upon me, Lord. I don't cry no more, don't look to the sky no more. Have mercy on me, have mercy on my soul. Somewhere my heart turned cold. Have mercy on many men, many, 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 many men wish death upon me. Every night I talk to God, but he don't say nothing back. I know he protected me, but I still stay with my gat and my nightmares. Niggas keep pulling texts on me. Cypher said some bitch done put a hex on me. The feds didn't know much when Pop got shot. I got a kite from the pins that told me Tuck got knocked. I ain't gon' spell it out for you motherfuckers all the time. Are you a literate nigga? You can't read between the lines. In the Bible it says, what goes around comes